Hello, 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 good morning. What's going on, everybody? Why is my lighting weird? Why am I orange? Do you guys see that I'm orange? Or am I being silly? I look orange. I'm a little confused. What the heck? How are y'all doing? About to hit a meeting? Alright, sounds good. Thanks for popping in though, Gonzo. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Who we got? Fingers? Pickle, thank you so much for redeeming, or clocking in for your shift. It's a redeem, but you know. Hello, Amazing Fox. How's it going? Alright, let's bring TikTok on along with us. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Okay. Alright, where are we at? What were we doing? What were we doing last I checked? It's time for us to get a little recap in here. As it always is with this game. 21 hours and 45 minutes we have clocked into here. My goodness. Okay. Oh yeah, we went to the Safari Zone. We got ourselves Chansey. I remember that. Did I give him his teeth? I beat the Koga. I beat the gym in Fuchsia with Koga. And I healed. Okay. Hi, Gavin! Welcome in, nice and bright and early. Let's see, what's our team looking like right now? Okay. Okay. Oh, and we were... Where are we? What were we doing? What were we up to? Now we can use Surf outside of battle, question mark? So we're gonna see a lot of water types, so I'm gonna give Vero this thing right now. Or can we use... were we already able to use Surf outside of battle? Was it Fly that we can use now? I don't know. I don't remember. I wasn't paying enough attention. Okay, but the team's looking pretty good. The team's looking pretty good. Some McDonald's breakfast after a 12-hour fasting. Oh my goodness. Well, that must have been the tastiest thing you've ever eaten. That must have been delicious by comparison of not eating anything. Let's see. What were you fasting for? Can I fly now? Can I fly to other places? Oh my gosh, I can fly to other places. Look at that. Look at that. Look at everything we can do. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't think I need to fly anywhere. I think I have everything I need. What kind of items are we working with? Surf with Fuchsia, so you surfed us in a bar. Oh, that makes sense. Wild time at work this weekend. Is the local Best Buy is shut at... Oh, so is that good? Is that a good thing? Why? Why is it a good thing? Let's see, do I have enough potions and revives and all that nonsense, you know? Well, we have lemonade. I wish this would be sorted, my goodness. I didn't even realize what we lost. Or rather, what we didn't have before. Had to get blood work done? Oh, yes. Relatable. Understandable. Okay. I guess we're surfing then. I hope all the blood work and everything went well. I love this little sprite. I love the Gen 3 surfing sprite. It's so cute. It's such a little blob. It's so nothing. I love Pokemon so dang much. Me too! I am there with you. Oh, level 30? That's it? That's all you got? Blood work? I sure hope it does. That's crazy, Gort. What's going on, man? I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good time. Okay, well that was so nothing. How many Pokemon does it? You only have 2? And one of them's level 30? And the second one is also level 30? I feel like I'm bullying. I feel like I'm bullying you, my goodness. Okay, well there we go. Sorry that's happening. Sorry about that. Traumatic, yes indeed. Yes indeed. Do you have better guys to fight? Look at that little sprite with his tiny little back feet or back flippers or whatever the heck it's trying to be. It's just so cute. It's adorable. What, is it gonna be level 30? 29? This is baby stuff, guys. This is baby stuff, guys. I feel like I shouldn't even use Shockwave. I should save that for something, like, worthy. Well, Pin Missile's not gonna do it. Pin Missile's not gonna do it. Alex, thank you so much for the heart me and the Go Popular. Welcome in. How are you doing? Thank you, Zozo. Thanks for joining us. Got 70 plus what? Like level? What are you talking about? There we go. There we go. How are you doing today, Alex? I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a better day than this swimmer's gonna have when my Jolteon is done with it. Reach member level 20. I don't even know what that means. That's very exciting. Enraptured by Tomodachi Life. Excited to see if Jolteon takes a nap this stream. We'll see. We'll find out. Oh, we're in a small business. I've been scared that I was going to lose my job with all the prices increased, but now we get more business, so I don't have to worry. Oh, well, excellent. I am very excited about that then for you, Pickle. With your mons. Oh, okay. What stage of the game are you in? Like, are you in the Elite Four range? Past the Elite Four? We're not there yet. Hello, Saint! I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty alright. I'm just absolutely cleaning up some swimmers in here. You're gonna be slightly more difficult to fight because you're evolved, at least. So I'm gonna Shockwave here. We're just cleaning them up. Cleaning them up. My favorite Pokemon, Wooper and Quagsire. Those are my favorites. There's some good little friends. Miss me? Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks so much. Here I am. Sorry, I was a little late to stream today. I was filming. I had some videos that I was gonna film, and I was like, oh, I'll just knock this out real quick before I start stream. And then it was like an hour later, and I went, oh no, oh no, because I like sat down and I was like, ooh, I can get streaming at like 10:30, and then I was like, well, let me just film these videos really quick. It took a long time. It took much longer than I expected it to. I don't know why. Mew and Eevee are very cute Pokemon. They're very sweet. They're very cuties. Do you collect the cards or just play the games, or some mixture of the two, or a secret third option? Because I got a lot of really cute Eevee Pokemon cards. Let's see. Jolteon versus water types. Absolutely stomping them. I'm saving my shockwaves because these guys are coming in at level 27. I'm over 10 levels higher. So I feel like I don't even need to use all that yet. Until we fight some stronger trainers. Are there going to be stronger trainers? What's happening? Ever gotten a shiny Pokemon? Yeah, in other games I shiny hunt a fair bit. But my first ever shiny was full odds in LeafGreen. Not this game, but the first time that I played it. Oh, Johnny, thank you so much for the heart meat and the corn. How are you doing? What's going on? But yeah, my first ever shiny was a Spearow in Pokemon Leaf Green. Not this file, but the first time I ever played, and that's when I learned about shiny Pokemon. I didn't know what they were at all until then. I kind of just I just saw a Spearow and I was like, that doesn't look right. I had to go home and look it up because I didn't have a phone because I was a kid. And I don't think my parents had smartphones. I think they had flip phones, which doesn't go so well for looking up things about Pokemon on the internet, you know? Doing pretty well, Johnny. Having a good, I guess it's sort of the morning still. It's technically the morning for me here. I got a little delayed. I got a little delayed in starting stream. But hopefully what I'm hoping is that maybe we can beat Blaine and Giovanni this stream. I think that's the hope, and I think that it's probably could happen. Having a good morning until I started playing Pokemon Champions. What happened? What happened? Did it not go well? Did it not work? Oh, hello green hair and child. Taught me how to swim and train Pokemon. No, sweet. Love Pokemon Champions so much, enjoying it thoroughly. I hope you are. Love the gloomy weather we got. Am I experiencing gloomy weather? Doesn't look that gloomy for me. I guess it's a little gloomy. It feels warm. I feel too warm. And, you know, wearing a long sleeve shirt, of course, very good. But so, I don't know, the texture of this shirt is like less, it's less, what's the word? I don't know, heat containing than some of my t-shirts, so that's why I went with it. Wanted to try it. It's a Pokemon or a few that you don't like. Illumise, which is not how you say its name properly, but I don't respect it enough to call it by its correct name. Illumise knows what it did. Illumise knows what it did. I don't like most of the Pokemon that are just like a little too humanoid. Those are the kind that I'm not overly fond of. Symbiote, thanks for clocking in for your shift. Oh! I'm sorry, Christian. Oh, shoot. What happened? What? Did you just, like, lose a string of battles that got you there? What happened? 59 degrees at the moment? Yeah, I'm not there. I'm not with you there. I'm having a much warmer day than you are. I'm glad you're getting a gloomy weather day. Can't relate though. Oh, well, I mean, if their levels are okay, then maybe this is, I would say that if the levels of the Pokemon were a little higher, then this maybe would be a really cool place to use the Versus Seeker, but unfortunately I feel like it's not going to be that good. Tried to use Frostlass. Is that not good for the meta? Is that bad for the meta? I mean, if Incineroar is the meta, then Frostlass is getting clapped by that. Is that what it is? Were there shiny Pokemon before color? In red and blue there were not shiny Pokemon. I believe there were shiny Pokemon in the Gen 2 games, but I don't remember if that was visible or if it was just like a Pokedex thing that you could see. I saw something weird about that. Might be attending the Ren Fair this weekend. I hope. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. Ooh, let's get Drill Peck. Finally, sweater weather. I want sweater weather. But what I know about Southern California is it happens every single year, is that it gets really warm really quickly and everybody goes, oh, where did winter go? And then it gets to be like May, June, and June gloom comes back in and it gets a little chilly, and then everybody goes, where did the sun go? It was 80 degrees 2 weeks ago and now it's raining. And so I'm gonna have a chance again. I don't think I'm smart enough to know how to use Mirror Move very effectively, so we're just gonna take Drill Peck instead. Depends on if a few friends can attend, and yep, sweet, very cool. I think I'm gonna be going to my friend's graduation this weekend, so I'm very proud of him. I'm gonna stay there. It's gonna be really hot though, and I'm scared. I'm a little worried about it. I'm gonna have to bring so much sunscreen. Let's get a Shockwave. Watching the Last of Us TV show, have you rewatching it, or is it your first ever watch? And what section of the show are you in? Winter in the morning, spring in the afternoon, summer in the evening. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. I remember, like, I would wake up to go to school and it would be like 31 degrees. So not like super freezing, but pretty cold, like below freezing temperature. And then my mom would be like, bring a jacket, and I'm like, no, it's gonna be 80 degrees by lunchtime, and then I'm gonna have to carry a jacket around, because I didn't have any lockers. I didn't have lockers at my school. I don't know why anybody shows all these lockers in like TV and media, and then I don't even get a one. I don't even get like a little cubby or anything. When I had to carry everything with me in my backpack. I also hate the heat. I wish it was nice and cool, but that's just not what I'm experiencing right now. Darkmaid, how's it going? Sorry, I'm catching up. You guys are talking fast. Had so much rice since I started my diet and I've come to a conclusion. Okay, what is it? Is it gonna be a conclusion that would get you muted in the TikTok chat? Is that what it would be? I would like to go to the Ren Fair soon, but unfortunately, I don't know when I can yet. I'm not sure. It always ends up being like that really close to the end of the season, because I always am like, oh, I remember that it exists again. It always happens is I have this one group of friends that's just like, oh yeah, I went to the Ren Fair, and I'm like, oh yeah, the Ren Fair, and then I forget about it for like 3 more weeks until it's the last second, and I'm like, oh no, there's only like 3 more weekends left and I can't go the first 2, so I guess I'll go on the last one or something like that. Support my Ren Fair hopes and dreams. Thank you, thank you. TV shows hyped up lockers only for us to be lied to, which is total. You know what? I never had to see a kid get thrown into a locker or anything. That was not a problem. Did that ever actually happen? Do people actually get like thrown into lockers and like locked up in there? I've never seen that. Rewatching it on season 1, episode 5. Arr. I got you. I got you. Christian, thank you so much for the heart me. Packaged microwavable rice, other rice. Ooh, so you like your rice crunchy? Dang. Next you're gonna tell me you like your bread stale. Nasty. You can't bait me. You can't bait me, Christian. You had 2 lockers. At the same time? Like a PE locker and like a regular locker? Or like just 2 lockers? Pro tip for the Ren Fair. Oh yeah, no, I never buy food at the Ren Fair. That is not even a scenario for me. My friends and I, we have our little routine that we'll get breakfast immediately before we go into the Ren Fair, and then we go in, we go about our days, we enjoy everything. At this point, all of the vendors are the same vendors in about the same places selling the same things, and so I know what's there. If there is something that I want, I can go to that specific vendor and get the thing. But most of the time I don't need anything, and so then we just go to all the little shows that we want to go to, all the little stages and everything, and then when we're done with that and as soon as we start getting hungry, which usually ends up being like around 2 o'clock, then we immediately leave and we go get food somewhere else. No, first we go to the gas station right near the Ren Fair and we get slushies, and then we go and we get food. And it's the best way to do it. It's the best way to do it, I'm telling you. It just told the person I never got a locker when I had one, so they gave me another one. Amazing. Jacket in the morning, sweater during lunch, and t-shirt. A backpack full of clothes going home is how I remember it. Which is exactly what I wanted to do, which is why I just simply froze for the first, like, hour of school, and then I was perfectly fine the rest of the time. It's perfectly fine. Always small for my age, and I fit into lockers for laughs. Oh no! Not you putting yourself in the locker, though. All-time favorite Pokemon is Corphish. Oh, that's fun. Never heard of anybody whose favorite is Corphish, but I get it. I get it. And its shiny is very cute. Its shiny is very cute. Big fan. It's your chance to kick everyone off and shove someone in a locker. Well, unfortunately, everyone is just so nice. It would not be strong enough. I don't know. You could do it. You could do it with enough faith, trust, and pixie dust. Dang, I messed up my own little line. I messed up my own little thing that I said. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, no, I think I had like a cubby in middle school. Elementary school? I get middle school and elementary school mixed up. You can't have my Blastoise. Absolutely not, girl. Also, you're not gonna win. What are you gonna bring? What, your bow-legged self gonna bring? A level 27 Poliwag? Stop playing directly in my face. How much does Quick Attack do? Because I'm running out of PowerPoints. Perfect. That's good enough. It's gonna take 2 attacks anyway, so I'll just get into that. I'll just do that. But yeah, my concept at the Ren Fair: comfortable shoes, adaptable outfit for the temperatures, which is to say usually a flowy, comfortable outfit that's not too hot. Plenty of sunscreen. A lot of people don't do that. Hi, Jelton. Because you see a lot of sunburned people at the Ren Fair. Let me tell you that. Did it pre-K? There was pre-K. I don't think I went to it. I think I went straight to kindergarten. I think it depends on the kid. Like, if it's, because I think it's like at a certain age, it's just like, okay, move on to kindergarten. And if they're just like, oh, I think this kid would do better in a pre-K setting, then they push you in pre-K for a year before they put you into kindergarten. And it's just like a preference thing. But I did have to sleep on towels after kindergarten. I don't think that's skipping a grade. I think pre-K is optional. I don't think that that's like a necessary grade. That's not a required grade. And I didn't skip any other grades. I did not. Was I a gifted kid? Maybe, but that doesn't. But I was not skipping grade. I was not skipping grade levels or anything. Not like my friend who was already doing geometry when we were all doing algebra. Imagine being held back in kindergarten. That would be pretty silly. Like, what? You didn't learn your colors good enough? I learned Spanish a little bit in kindergarten. Did other people have like language classes in kindergarten? Was that like a normal thing for anybody else? I don't, because I know that Southern California, well, I'm not from Southern California. That was crazy. That was crazy that what I just did just now. I'm from Northern California, but in California it makes sense to learn Spanish a lot more frequently, but I don't know if they do that in other states like that. Even being optional, you skipped, and so that counts as my opinion. Alright. Alright, whatever. Tentacool. Can I quick attack this thing? I know I'm gonna see so many of these, so I'm not worried about... Yeah, okay, so I can't touch this thing. It leveled me up, though. Didn't start learning another language until 7th grade. Really? I had Spanish the whole time. I was learning Spanish the whole time, like all the way from kindergarten to high school. That's so interesting. Tend to be cool too. There you go. There you go. Oh, level 6. This is a itty bitty baby. This is an itty bitty baby. I don't want to catch this one. I want to catch one that's like level 13, like the one I just saw. Am I going to Blaine's gym next, or are you gonna explore a bit? I think I'm going to Blaine's gym. There's not a ton to explore in here. I mean, I can go to the, like... I can go to where... when can you catch the legendary birds? Could I, like, go check that out with Articuno now? Or is that... do I have to wait for that? I don't remember. I don't recall if you're allowed to just, like, continue on. Or if that's, like, something you have to do after. Truly, I know everything that happens in this game, not in any particular order, though. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, we're gonna use Shockwave here, too. Get this guy out of here. Catch all three when you... You can catch all three when you get Surf. Okay, I see. Okay, I don't know if I remember where Moltres is, though. Now that I'm thinking back on it, because Moltres I didn't like that much. to be so honest. Parents tried putting me in pre-K early, but I started freaking out and the teacher had to call them back and say they're not ready. You have to come pick them up. So it took pre-K twice technically. Oh man. Double the pre-K. Well, I don't even know what they teach specifically in pre-K that's different than like preschool, or like if the setting is different. What's the deal? Yeah, you can tell me. Go right ahead. Tell me how you're level 10 and you're escaping a great ball like that. You don't have to do that. You're not even cool. You're not even interesting. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you would do this to me. I can't believe the poison does more damage to me than literally any singular one of your hits. The audacity of this right now. Wanted to progress so badly, but I got stuck shiny hunting Aerodactyl and now I can't stop. Oh! Oh dear. From that fire mountain on those islands? Oh. On those islands. How do you catch it in the initial, in like red and blue? Then, because the Sevi Islands don't exist. Her? This is my first shiny hunt. Well, what a one to choose. My goodness. Lines, I guess, then we moved on to shapes. Okay, I have a memory of kindergarten. I don't know what the deal was with my kindergarten teacher, but she was, looking back on it, I thought so at the time, but looking back on it, she was really annoying. She was so annoying. She was like an older lady. I feel like, I don't know what her deal was. I remember there being problems with her, like other people had problems with her. But then also like, you know, I'm a kindergartner. I'm a little kid, and we're told we have to have 2 folders. We have to have 2 folders. Hi, Mr. McCobb, how's it going? But we're told we have to appears in Victory Road. Interesting. Interesting. Watchdog indeed. But so we're told that we need to have 2 folders, and so my mom takes me to the store and we pick out 2 folders, and I'm a little kid, and so I pick out a folder that has a dog on it, and I pick out a folder that has a cat on it because they're cool, whatever. This kindergarten teacher calls my mom in to talk about the fact that she's like, actually, Finn, little baby Finn can't have these can't have filters. Why can't I read or speak or whatever? Can't have these folders because you're supposed to just have a green folder and a red folder, and these folders have too many colors, and so it's going to be different than all the other kids' folders, and so you can't have the folder. I'm sorry. I'm 5 years old. I'm 5 years old in kindergarten. And they're telling me, and they're like, you can't have your puppy and kitty folder. What? And nobody, I don't, my mom is a very on top of it lady. I know it didn't say anywhere ahead of time that you needed a blue and a red, or a green and a red folder. I know it didn't say anything anywhere because my mom would have seen that. My mom would have seen that specifically. And I think all the other parents are just slacking and like got all the folders at the end or whatever. Like heaven forbid I have 2 folders that are different from everybody else's. This same teacher would also like bring in her adult daughter, who I guess did ballet. Well, actually, I don't know if she was an adult. She could have been like a high schooler or something. And she would like put on little ballet performances for us. And even as a kindergartner, I was like, hey, why aren't I supposed to be like learning and counting or something? Aren't I supposed to be learning how to count? I did not. We spent a lot of time watching like random ballet performances for like a long enough time that I was like, I don't understand why we're doing this for this amount of time and this frequency. At 5 years old, forcing me to conform. I know. And it's like, what does it matter? What does it matter if my folder has a cat or a dog on it? What does it matter? So long as I know which is which. Like, it's completely fine, because I think it was like a situation of just like, oh, this thing goes in your green folder, and teaching us how to categorize, but she can't just say green folder if I have a puppy dog folder. So I was smarter. I was smarter than that. So you could just be like, hey, this is the folder for XYZ papers. Not like that, obviously, because I was five. But like, if you just said, this is the folder for this thing, and this is the folder for the other thing. I was a little autistic kid. I know how to sort stuff. I can organize. I could have figured it out. It would have been perfectly fine. But so that was a whole problem. And then I remember being so mad about this. It's bad when I remember these instances so clearly, and so clearly remember being upset, and then look back on them and realize I was perfectly valid for being upset. Christian, that's crazy. Your 6th grade teacher called your face messed up. I had a weird school experience. High school was kind of normal, and then but everything before was actually ridiculous. But so I remember, did you guys ever have those little like plastic teddy bears? Those little plastic teddy bears that you like, I don't know, in what we were set to do with them is they would be like, okay, take this many of these little bears in XYZ colors, whatever, because they're trying to teach us sorting. I know sorting already. This was not a problem for me. But so I like so it's just like, okay, take these bears, put them in a line, like we stand in line for recess. And so I take the bears and I like line them up. But you know, imagine in your head the way you would line bears up in a way that looks like they're standing in line. And I said, hi, I'm done. This is it, right? And she looks down and she's like, no, that's not right. And I go, interesting. So I'm just like, well, that's how we line up in line. I don't know what's wrong with this. And so I take the bears and I turn them sideways so they're like holding hands, because I'm like, I cannot think of another way to line these bears up in a line. This is, to me, the way that you line up bears in a line, as though we're lining up for class. So this is the only other way I can think of. So I think I'm gonna try that and see what happens. And then I say, is this it? 'Cause, 5 years old. I want to do a good job. I want to succeed. Is this correct? And she says, no. How do we line up in a line? We don't hold hands with our classmates. I said, okay, wait, so what was wrong with the first way that I did it? What was wrong with the first way? Because I thought that I had it right the first time. And I probably didn't say it like that because I'm 5 years old, but I was just like, what was wrong with the first one? And she said to me, do our noses go into the backs of our friends' heads? Do our noses go into the backs of our friends' heads? The thing that was wrong with me lining the bears up the first time was they were too close to each other. I had like this much space between them. She wanted this much space between them. They were too close together. Hi, Diego. Thank you for clocking in for your shift. It was creative. I hate that woman. Because what do you mean? Telling me at 5 years old, I know my motor skills weren't that good at 5 years old. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up about it. She made me so mad. I can't believe she did that to me. I can't believe she did that to me. That was so upsetting. She was nitpicking because I, 5 years old, lined these lined up these little tiny bears a little too close to each other. Because I'm sorry, you're right. I'm sorry. We give our friends space. I suppose that is true about us. I suppose we do that. I was so mad. I was so angry. I couldn't believe it. I don't know if I told my mom that story. But I couldn't believe it. I was so upset. Did not have a single bit of whimsy here. So here's the thing. Jolteon is kind of out of PowerPoints. So I'm thinking that maybe I go back to Fuchsia and then heal up so that I can get some PowerPoints on those moves, because I think that's gonna be super helpful for us in the future. We're gonna go to Fuchsia City about it, I think. It's ridiculous to be such a micromanager for little children. That's how yeah, no, I'm a mess. And I'm a mess, and I cannot imagine that had nothing to do with it, because what do you mean? What do you mean by that? That was so ridiculous. That was such a silly thing to do to a little tiny baby. To just be like, oh yeah, this is what you got. This is what's gonna happen. Found someone who gave you butterflies. Oh, cute. That's very nice. Yeah, so if we all as adults together can recall that is insane, that isn't a crazy thing for a teacher to do, then imagine how little tiny me, who's not that good at regulating my emotions yet, it feels. Imagine that. Imagine how a small tiny child who doesn't know how to regulate emotions that good is experiencing this. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't even want to look at you because I know you're gonna make me mad. So we're gonna go away. Okay. I think we fought you already. I think we fought everybody over here already. 4th grade was your favorite school year? 4th grade was okay for me. I didn't have a problem with 4th grade. It was the older grades that I got to that started being freakish again. I didn't notice everything that was going on when I was in the smaller grades, so maybe it was a little weird then. But 6th grade, I had a teacher really say to us that the devil was strong in our classroom. We were just talking. We were talking too much. Mind you, my 6th grade class talked way too much, but the devil is strong in this class? That's a little intense. That's a little bit much. Got very, very in trouble. She got very in trouble for saying that. A lot of parents did not like that they said that. Space them exactly 3 inches apart, toddlers. Yeah, you know. You know what? And I should have known, I guess. I should have known. Oh, I don't know how to get around here. How's the team? It's doing well. It's doing good. So far, Jolteon is carrying us to victory, and it's a pretty good situation, I think. 4th grade teacher would make waffles for the class every other Wednesday. That's good. That sounds great. Waffle Wednesday. Sounds like a really nice time. I want a waffle right now. What is my goal here? Where am I trying to be? I don't remember the way through this thing. Well, of course, I mean, like, why would I remember right now? But maybe I'll use a repel because we're seeing a lot of friends. The Seafoam Islands are optional. I don't think, is this optional? Because it looked like I couldn't go through until I got through this. I don't think I can swim under it. I think I have to get through it. Is this even the Seafoam Islands? I don't know where I am right now. You can get to Cinnabar just by surfing south of Palestine. Yeah, but that's not the spirit of the thing. That's not the spirit of the thing. You're not supposed to go that way. Citrine, thank you so much for resubbing. Happy 17 to those who celebrate. I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating with you right now. Thank you so much for lurking. I don't know what that word is really supposed to mean, so I'm not gonna say that out loud. Because it could be really mean, and I don't know what it is. Got Quilava, Lapras, Heracross, Crobat, Ampharos, and a Graveler. That's a pretty stacked team. That's pretty good. What's happening? Oh, I'm getting spam texts. I've been getting a lot of spam texts lately. I have always gotten texts from somebody who is like asking to buy a property that I don't own. That's like a repeated thing. What are your folders for colors? Oh, this is a tricky conversation you're starting, Gort, because some people feel so strongly about what colors things are supposed to go in for folders. Oh, it's a Slowpoke! Oh, it's Slowpoke! I need this! I need to keep this! I love Slowpoke! Yes, I will just quick attack until oblivion. A lot of spam text for a Florida highway toll. Very common highway you take in Wisconsin. Yeah, fair enough. You gotta pay that, Zitrine. You gotta. I think that it's kind of Gore. I think those texts are kind of like fishing for like if there's a person on the end of the line, so then they can sell your number to sell your number to like the data mining. You know the people who want to call you about stuff or whatever. They can sell all that information. For all like the calls where they're trying to like sell you something or like scam you or get your information, data brokering, all that, whatever. I think that's what the deal is. Click those links. Yeah, click them, Zitrine. This is full disclosure. This is a joke. This is a joke. Please don't click on links from sketchy things. Please don't, especially if you think it's a scam. Local business accidentally put my number on their website for a while and still getting calls for them. Oh no! Oh wait, I don't want a nickname. I don't want to nickname this Slowpoke. This is just Slowpoke. But colors of folders that you put subjects into. I think that math is always a blue folder for me. It is always a blue folder. And then I got to high school, and then I changed my decision. Math became the red folder, and English became the blue folder, and that was what I was always doing. And I don't know why I changed, but I did. Something was different then, where it's just like, okay, I have to have it like this now. Seafoam Island. Oh, I got through. Didn't I? I don't know where I am. Hang on. I'm going back up the ladder. I want to push this rock all the way down. I think it's funny. I don't know where I'm taking it, but you know. But so now blue is the English folder and math is the red folder. Science is always green. Science has always been green. If science ever stops being green, then I have passed away or something. Or it's not me. If you ever talk to me and it's just like, oh yeah, we're doing science and it's in a red folder, then that's not me anymore. That's not me anymore. Math is red 100%. Yeah, it's that. I guess I saw the light when I got to high school. Oh, that startled me. I forgot that happens. That's what it is. That's where I was at. Okay. I want to go up this way. Or yeah, they can record your voice to purchase stuff or drain your accounts. Yeah, it's also for like using your voice for AI models and things like that. Or just like getting, maybe a bite? Or just like getting your voice in general to use for things. Like if they can get you saying yes or something, sometimes that works for certain like bank accounts. If it like recognizes your voice. Okay, well now I can't use quick attack, and that's kind of what I wanted to use is the problem. Is the problem with that. I should probably get some more Pokeballs. Do you think we can get Ultra Balls by now? Do you think we can? History is yellow? Yes. Correct. That's what I do. And then if you have purple, I use that for whatever like the other subject is, which for me, frequently, language arts. So it's just like Spanish for me specifically. Okay, okay. English is yellow. English is yellow. Science is red. History green. Math blue I can kind of understand, but Zitrine, I really cannot get behind your folder organization structure. Oh my gosh. History is yellow. History is yellow because like old maps. History yellow. Because old maps. That's the vibe. Math red. I don't like red that much. I don't like math that much. There you go. Combination. Geography is blue? Is that... Did you guys have history and geography as like separate things? I had them together. Because that's throwing me off a little bit. What about English? What about English, Gort? What do you have? Science is red though is insane. I don't agree with English being yellow, but I can at least understand it. I can understand how you got there. I disagree, but science red is crazy. Is crazy. Don't... Okay. Ooh, an item! Oh-ho! One singular Ultra Ball. Wonderful. The rest is whatever to me. The rest is whatever to you. It's not whatever to Seal! Oh, wonderful. Okay, let's see. How are we gonna get this? Nice, good flinch. Okay, let's get a quick attack in. Okay. Aurora Beam, I think, is the prettiest Pokemon move that existed in any of the old games. I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful, and I think we should talk about it more. Geology would be the one science I'd be okay with being red. Yeah, because rocks. Because rocks. Obviously, you're there. You're right. You're right there. I never considered like a lot of people when I talk about I've talked about this more frequently than than seems normal, but I've had this conversation about folders with a lot of people, and I don't know why. I didn't know that all these other people were experiencing like geography as its own separate class, separate from history, and I'm discovering that maybe I did not go to school normal. I don't know. Do I play Pokemon Champions at all? No, not really. I'm starting to be influenced. But I really don't like competitive, so well, maybe we'll try it. It's not a boulder, it's a rock. Well, see, if it was a rock, then we would have to use Rock Smash, but because it's a boulder, we have to use Strength. Key difference here. SpongeBob knew what was up. World Geography. Yeah, that was always like a history class. Like, I didn't have specifically World Geography. I had like... I don't know, I had like... It was always like within the context of like here is like American history, and then we would learn about like the geography of like the Americas, and so then we'd learn about like the rainforest, and we'd learn about the like all the different like oxbow lakes and stuff like that. I don't know. Symbiote, you wandered on over there. Current format is beginner friendly. I know, that's what I'm being told. That's what I'm being... It's not that I think I could be good at it if I cared, but I really don't. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun for me. World, geo, world history, one or the other. Okay, is this the way up? Where is that? Where am I right now? I don't see the connection between green and history at all. I don't see it. I don't see it together. Some years science is green for me, but history defaults to green most of the time. What makes history feel green to you? What makes it feel green to you? What's your vibe? Why, like, what was the concept behind it? Okay, I should heal Jolteon. And I also think I want to pop a repel real quick here. Let's get some super potions in the mix here. No. No. Are you not following me? You're not? That's weird. I thought you were. I was pretty sure you were. I've been wondering lately if it's been removing some followers. Cause I don't know, I don't want to talk about it too much, but like on the back end, some weird stuff has been happening. Yeah, you've been here for eons. Cause you found me via TikTok, right? That's the way that you discovered that I existed. Okay, I'm gonna push this down. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go take this. Hang on, hang on. I have to think about this a little more. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna do like this. Purple first, then TikTok. Oh, I fell down the hole. I did not mean to fall down the hole. I just took a little tumble and there I was. There I went. Okay, let's do that again. Let's do that again. We're doing puzzles. Ugh, they moved the rocks back to where they were before. Oh, I can run. I don't... I should be smart about this. Okay. Yes, okay, so we're gonna push this to the side. Like this. Just to get it out of the way. This one's gonna go up. I guess it doesn't really matter which one goes up, because you can... No, it does. It does. Okay, like this. There we go. And then if I go down this way, seeing my thrift store haul and you like this. Oh, well, sweet. I love... Oh! Oh! Hi! You like those jeans just look like the ones I donated the other day. Oh wow, it was a long while ago if it was jeans that I was showing. Okay, let's see. What Pokemon do we wanna... I think we'll start with Jolteon, just to get a couple little hits in. And then after Jolteon, then I think we'll swap over to, Victory Bell so that we can try to get some, I don't know. Ooh. Is this strong enough that y'all think I could use Shockwave and not, like, knock it out? Fingers crossed for shiny. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if it was? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I'll use that a little bit. Mind Reader? What are you reading in my brain? What's happening? Green makes being history makes a lot of sense for me because of the US president on dollar bills. Oh. I see. Oh no. Maybe a bite? Hi, Jaime. What's going on? Let's see, let's see. Ooh, one more bite? One more bite here? Perfect. It's the other Jaime in chat. I don't see him. I don't see him right now. Not currently. Alright, Victory Bell. Switch in. Let's put it to sleep. Let's put it to sleep. Yeah, keep using Mist. I don't mind that at the moment. What does that do? Is that an accuracy thing? Let's go sleep powder. Oh no, now you bring out ice beam. Survive, please. That was really disappointing. That was really disappointing. Okay, do we have anybody else who has any sleep moves? I don't think I do right now. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Stoice? We're gonna swap in? Maybe- should we heal Victory Bell? Should we heal Victory Bell about it? Jolty, I'm just thinking I missed my bed lit. Yep. Must be. Okay. A great ball is crazy. I don't have the stuff to have started doing this encounter. I don't know why I did this. I don't know why I did this. I'm gonna be so honest. This is a little silly. This is a little bit silly. I'm not gonna use my Master Ball because that's crazy. I was unprepared. We're gonna try reviving Victory Bell because none of these Pokeballs are gonna do a darn thing unless we have Victory Bell in here, I do believe. Let's go with this. It's not gonna be 100%, but if it hits us with Ice Beam, then it doesn't even really matter, huh? Okay, so Pokemon. Victory Bell. Hi, Pitman, how are you doing today? How is it going? Okay, agility. Great. Cool. Cool. Good. Okay. Slay. Okay, amazing. Okay. Never been more confident in the- okay. Alright. Well, now let's throw our singular Ultra Ball and just see what happens here. Let's go. Doing okay, except for the fact that well, that was awful. Well, that was so nothing. Kitty Curdy, thank you so much for resubbing. Hello. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing? We're suffering a little bit. A little bit suffering here. Yeah, how is it gonna stay in a Great Ball? What are the odds for this? What do we think? What do we think the odds are? The speed won't go higher. Good! Good! Oh no. We're probably just gonna have to reset for this. Because I think I'm gonna be out of Pokeballs pretty soon. Let's see. Pokemon catch rate calculator. Let's freaking go. I'm just gonna throw a Pokeball at it and see what happens. We made it so far. I know I'm so far in the game. Okay, let's see. Catch rate calculator. Articuno. Level 50, as it typically is. It's probably got like 2% health. Would you say maybe 3%? We're gonna try a Great Ball has so little chance of catching it. Or if it's asleep, a 2.56% chance. Oh gosh, okay. And an Ultra Ball has only 4% chance. So what are we doing here? If I run, is it like still there? No, it's not still there. Just close it and open it again. Okay, yeah, so I have stuff that'll put it to sleep, but it keeps knocking out my Victory Bell, unfortunately. It keeps knocking out my Victory Bell. So I might just come back. I may just come back. I probably don't need to. I don't need to do it right now. And I don't have any Ultra Balls at the moment. It's so much higher than 1%. I know, so much higher. Let's get it with a shockwave. Let's get the health down. Let's get the health down a little bit. Pretty good. Pretty nice. What does Mist do? Do you guys know what Mist does? I mean, 2.56 is like over twice as much of a chance, so like I guess it's better. Do we think I can use... I mean, we may as well use another shockwave and just see what it does. Because we're scientists here. Well, if it hits a critical hit, then our science is out the window. If it hits a critical hit. Gonna get it on the first Pokeball throw because we believe in you. Alright! We'll see. We'll see. We'll try it a few more times. We'll try it a few more times. I'm woefully unprepared for a catching incident right now, though. Woefully unprepared. Mist is like safeguard? Oh, okay. Okay. Jolteon too strong, hitting the gym too much. Crit at exactly a time that I didn't want it to. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you trying to do what I'm looking for, but see, I think I could get 3 normal non-crit shockwaves off. I got pretty far. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to see. Okay. And another shockwave. Let's just see. Let's see. Science time? Get the red folder, I guess. No! No! Okay. Exactly! Okay, okay. We're gonna just throw a great ball at it. Just for due diligence, you know? Look at this! Look at how sad this bag of things is! Because typically I haven't needed much more than that. Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know. Okay, okay. Clean switch. Clean switch into Victory Bell, though. So brave. Well, that's why we saved ahead of time, because I just didn't even think about it. Okay, so let's get a sleep powder. Cool, used agility. I don't care. You're already faster than me. Lands. Love to see it. Love to see it. Now let's use our Ultra Ball. Just to see. Because this is the best chance we're gonna have. But we don't really care. We don't really care. We're so like nonchalant. I was hoping maybe we'd be so nonchalant about it that it wouldn't even be that big of a deal. That it wouldn't even be that big of a deal if we caught it or didn't. Like, it's totally fine. It doesn't really matter. Did it shake? It shook. And now it's awake, and now it's gonna Ice Beam me straight into oblivion? No, it didn't. Okay, well, maybe it will on the next move. Alright, come on, put it back to sleep. Back to sleep. Sure, use Mist. Use Mist. That's fine. I don't mind that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even need to catch this Articuno that bad. I don't even need to catch this one. Yeah, you gotta be nonchalant about it. Stop being chalant. You gotta stop with the chalantness right now. Saving the master for me too? I don't know what I'm saving it for. Maybe. I might be. Ah, it shook again. Wait, that's crazy. That's crazy that it's actually, like, shaking. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I think that probably the option is we just have to go back. I think we'll just have to come back with a more prepared setup. Because this is not the preparation that I would like to see from us. This is not the preparation I would like to see. Would the percentage go up much at all if I had 1% HP? Not really. Not really much different from if I have it at the amount of health that it's at, I'm pretty sure. Because I think it's probably like 2% right now. But I wouldn't really know. But I don't really know. I don't think this is gonna go... I don't think this is gonna work. Especially not if you Ice Beam my Victory Bell. Especially not now. Yeah, we're just gonna restart. We'll come back to this another time. I don't think the odds are well enough in our favor. We don't have enough Pokeballs. We're gonna come back to this when we're more prepared. Cause I don't think this is... Oh, now what was all that? Let me in! Alright, okay. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna come back another time. We're gonna come back another time. Will all the strength that I did, will that all still be there when I come back. Okay, so let's go back up here. Oh, I forgot we had a rappel on. Dang it. This is LeafGreen specifically. How do you play this on the Switch? You can... I don't remember. Is it Switch exclusive or is it Switch 2? Or is it Switch 2 exclusive or is it... Can you do it on the Switch as well? But you can get Fire Red and Leaf Green now for 20 bucks on the Switch. For both? Okay, yeah. So you can just do that. Starter did I choose? I chose Squirtle. Being nonchalant to get something reminds me of the Hitchhiker's Guide series, specifically when they say the trick for humans to fly is falling but missing the ground and distracting yourself as you fall. Oh, perfect. It's on both. Okay, yeah. Good, good, good. It's on the shop. Ooh, maybe I should learn Thunder Wave. What do I have right now? What do we have? What am I doing with Pin Missile? Let's get Thunder Wave. That would maybe be awesome. That would maybe be incredibly successful. What's the, what if it was paralyzed? What's the... Oh, the chance goes way down. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so paralysis won't help us with this catch specifically. However, in general, I think it'll help us later. You can get Reiku then too. Yeah! That'll be the one that I eventually get. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to hit another rappel because this is ridiculous. This is too much. Alright, let's get a bite in here. Any shinies you might try getting? Honestly, I might try to get... In this game, I do not plan to shiny hunt. If I do, I'm planning to look for a shiny Spearow. Because I got shiny Spearow, was the very first shiny I ever got, and it was in Leaf Green, and so I may try to recreate that. Get myself another one. Okay. There we go. Sweet. But yeah, in general, probably not gonna shiny hunt in this game because that's a lot of work. Waterstone, pretty sweet, pretty good. Cute reason, but it'll take a long time. I mean, it'll take as long as any other, like, shiny hunt that people are doing. A lot of people are doing annoying shiny hunts not even starting the game, they're just doing the starters. I'm gonna run. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Let's get a... Like, any shiny hunting in this game is gonna take a million years, so, like, may as well make it something meaningful to me. Couple of those. We're gonna have to get ourselves some more repels for sure. Okay. Where am I? Johto News article would like your opinion on the current bio research team Team Rocket is doing. They're doing huts now? What happens if I fall down this hole? Where do I go? Where's the rock that I need to gather for this specific situation? How do I get back there to where that rock is? Because I know where it is, I don't remember how to get there. If I just like... Oh, I guess I can't go up. I guess my option is down. I guess my option is down. Okay, hang on. So going up this ladder will not reap benefits. Will not reap the benefits that I am looking for. I have to go up this one, which is fair. So then we should go up this way. And up this way. Like that. And then don't go fall in that hole in the ground. Let's go find ourselves another area to go. Is this it? Is this better? What's that ladder go to? Golly gosh. Okay. Are we in the beginning of the game now? Where am I? Is this the beginning of the area? Oh, ha, ha, I found the rock. I found it. I found it. Or sorry, it's a boulder. It's not a rock. We can't use rock smash on it. Okay, let's get out of here. Allegedly conducting illegal research on the endangered species. Is it the slowpokes they're taking the tails from? Is that what it is? What team do we have? I'm in Seafoam Islands right now, working my way over to Cinnabar, and this is the team. This is how we're looking so far. Oh, I'm gonna take this from you. And I'm gonna give that to Victory Bell, because Victory Bell has not been very useful this whole time. Has not been- I tried to add Victory Bell to the team in the hopes that it would make me, like, appreciate Victory Bell more, and it really hasn't worked a ton. Victory Bell has not really helped me out. Victory Bell has not been a huge asset to the team. It helps us catch things sometimes. Gonna push it this way. Why is Nidorina not evolved? Because I didn't wanna. And then people kept telling me that I should, and that made me want to do it less, and so now I have Nidorina. And I've kind of kept it that way. Okay, there's one. Okay, this one now. Ugh, I have to do the whole thing again. But yeah, so it was, at first it was like, oh, I'm just gonna wait a little while, and then people started being like, why haven't you evolved your Nidorina? Why haven't you evolved it? And I was just like, okay, so now I'm never gonna evolve it ever. I don't want to do it. You get an execute? Nah. I don't want that. Okay, slay. Which way are we trying to go? I forgot. Oh. Oh. Hi, Rick! So valid. I'm gonna evolve Nidorina someday. You should evolve it. No! Exactly. That's exactly how it went. I just didn't want to do it. I just didn't feel it. Free Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan? Are they in jail? Or do you just mean from the box? Because I don't need a fighting type. Oh, I see where we are. I see where we are. Okay, I don't want to go this way. I want to go the other way. I understand. I shouldn't evolve it. Well, now I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Is there something here I can get out of this rock? I would have expected to be able to get something out of that rock, but alas. Okay. Up this way. Look at that. Look at that. We're making it through. We're making it through. We will come back someday to get Articuno, and that's not what we're gonna do. Use item finder. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. Okay, this way. Does Jolteon get discharged by level up in this gen? I don't think so. I think this is... I don't think it learns any more moves naturally. I don't know if I'm legit at all. That's a crazy place to ambush somebody. Are you here on vacation too? No. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm on a journey. I'm on a mission. Jolteon, learn set. What do we got? I learned Thunder at a level 52. But I don't think there's discharge as a move at all in this game. Because I don't see it learned by TM either. I don't think that's there. I cannot add him, I'm sorry. Favorite of the legendary birds? Articuno. Articuno for sure. Easily. Easily. There we go. You tried to ambush me as I was getting out of a cave, and look what's happened to you. Look what went down. When I was a little kid, I didn't really like the color yellow, and so I just don't like a lot of electric type Pokemon because I was like, yellow's not a very fun color. It was simply just like, I didn't like the color, and here I am about it. And so that's kind of why I have Jolteon on the team. I'm trying to get some appreciation for some electric types. And Jolteon is a Pokemon that it's a nice gateway electric type, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Well, no, that's the reason Jolteon's on the team. Because I was just like, because I always wanted to pick Vaporeon. I've always been a water type person. I like the color blue for a lot of my life. What about Magneton? It's fine. I don't know. I don't have any, like, particular feelings about it. Alright, and now we can move along. Hello, individual person standing on an island. Can tell because of the hair. My hair is green. My hair is green. Colorblind. Okay, we're gonna go Shockwave. And that's gonna put this Fearow away, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Very good. Jolteon is getting so much experience right now. So your favorite evolution? I mean, I'm coming around to it. It's been pretty cool. Jolteon's been pretty friendly little friend. But yeah, half of my team is nostalgia picks of Pokemon that I wanted, that I've had on previous teams, and the other half is it's more than half, let's be honest. And the other half is ones that I'm trying to bond with a little further. So Jolteon and Victreebel are here because they were Pokemon that I just like didn't really like that much. When do I get Eevee in LeafGreen? You can get it in Celadon City. You have to just talk to everybody. Talk to every single person that you can. Okay. Anything up here? There's a trainer. There's a trainer up here. Here we go. I want to try to make sure I gave me big pearls. Oh, okay. Good for you. Good for you and your boyfriend. I'm just gonna bite it and see what happens. Well, okay, well that'll happen, and that'll stop me from biting it. Halts me. Is Finn's hair the new black, blue, white, gold dress illusion, or some people just colorblind? I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty clearly green to me. It's pretty clearly green to me. But I don't know. A lot of people are just like, I think your hair is blue. And it's like, it's not. It isn't. My friend beat LeafGreen Pokemon using only Butterfree. Oh, just one Butterfree or a team of Butterfree? Not. It's very definitely green. Like, I'm trying to put it closer to like the blue on the screen in the game, and it's not. It's not similar. All right, another Shelder. We can do that. We can do that. A team of Butterfree. Very cool. Very cool. There's there's those people who do the whole run through the game with just like one singular Pokemon, and I can't imagine. I can't imagine how that would go. Looking at my profile picture? Looking at my profile picture? Well, yeah, it's not like neon. I never claimed it to be neon. Would you say that emerald green is less green because it's not neon green? Let's go Shockwave, because you're level 35. You might give a little bit of a problem. Okay. Jesus. Swam here? You're wearing like a regular outfit. You're swam here? Well, that seems like a silly decision. That seems like a weird choice to do. What level? So we're fighting a lot of people who are like level 30 with their Pokemon and everything. What level is it gonna be when we get to Blaine's gym? Because I feel like it always sidelines me with how much higher of a level they are, and I'm confused by it. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what that means. I love my Jolteon too. It's a good Jolteon. Jolteon that is getting horrifically over-leveled. Seems very green to me, but I guess I can see it. People see it as teal, but full-on blue is wild to think. Yeah, when it gets way more faded out, it goes like much more, it looks much more teal, and I can totally see that when people, but this is like a couple-week-old dye job. Which isn't to say it's very good, because I'm not that good at dyeing my own hair, and I'm also not that good at like caring for the color because I don't want my showers to be cold all the time. Ah, you wanted to see my party. I was like, new live party. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I can show it to you. I think you need to add more words into that comment to properly get what you're looking for. I got you. Main Pokemon is Flareon. Oh, cutie! Love to see it. Miss the comma. I think you also need... I think party is too many things. I think there's too many things party could be referring to. I'm just like new around here. What's your team? That kind of thing. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for joining me. Let's see. Let me see if I can show it to you in just a moment. I was supposed to wait. I'm sorry. I was supposed to wait. My bad. I like how they show them with green hair in this game, and then they don't have green hair when you go to the sprite. We got Jolteon, Blastoise, Kadabra, Nidorina, Victory Bell, and Fearow. And Jolteon is eating too well right now. Gotta swap you out. Put Blastoise in front. Put Blastoise in front, because we're about to go fight a gym with all fire type Pokemon. Did you see my team comp together? If only you can get Alakazam. That's kind of the point of the team that I've put together is I'm trying to make a specifically non-optimized team because you can play it. You can play through the game without being optimized. I don't have any. I can't go to the Union Room to make any friends. It's not gonna work because there's nobody with their Switch near me. My Asquet's still not a Nidoqueen because people keep telling me I need to evolve it, and at a certain point I was like, oh, no! No, you don't. I'm not going to, actually. I've decided I'm not going to. Fearow is another sub-optimized Pokemon that everybody always picks Pidgeot, and so I'm using Fearow instead. Victory Bell, I never really cared for the line all that much, and so I'm trying to use Victory Bell to get me over that, except Victory Bell hasn't been that helpful for me thus far, so it's not really having the desired effect on that. Nidorina, I had Nidoqueen on my first ever Pokemon team, and it was gonna be a Nidoqueen, and then people kept bugging me about it, and I've decided that I don't care, and so Nidorina is gonna stay a Nidorina forever. Then we've got Kadabra. Had this on my first ever LeafGreen team. Love Kadabra because you know, on my first ever team I had a Haunter and I was like, oh no, I can't evolve it. I won't make that mistake again. Let me add Abra to my team on my second time through because I played blue version first with Haunter and then LeafGreen with Kadabra, so it's just kind of there for that. Jolteon, I've never used a Jolteon before, trying to bond with it more, and Blastoise, I had to pick Squirtle. I love him so much. You think Fearow's better? Some people do, some people don't. It's all okay. Is this the burned out building? This isn't the gym. Okay. I don't know what that is. Let me go to the Pokemart real quick. Get us some more Pokeballs. Can we buy Ultra Balls now? Never hurts to have extra items. Oh, I thought he was gonna give me something. Bulbasaur. I like Bulbasaur. I like Bulbasaur okay. But, you know, this is just a... how much money do I have? I have enough money that I can buy a lot of these. Yes. Perfect. Okay, let's get some more hyper potions. Because we're gonna have to start using these, I believe. I need to drink water. Hang on. Hydrate or dihydrate. Fearow is better than Pidgeot, though. Stats-wise? Or... yeah, I don't really know. I just think Fearow is underutilized. I think it's underutilized. I think people should use it more often. Let's get another 10 of these just to be safe. We have the money for it. We'll be okay. Gonna get Moltres someday. Probably. Do I have any of these? This would be helpful. Potentially. And so, yes! Yes! Let's get 40 of them. Nice. Okay, we're good. We're cooking. Firos, Pidgeots, and Arenas. At the end of the day, they're all friends the same. They're friends all the same. Exactly. Exactly. Alright, let me go in here. Let me check this out. Hey! Hey, I got fossils. Okay. Well, not for you. Not for you. Sorry, they're for somebody else. What's this one? The meeting room? Do you guys have anything in the meeting room? Hello! Do you have a Raichu? I don't have a Raichu. That's not something that I possess, I'm sorry. Remarkable fossil. Okay, yeah, we're talking about fossils. Do I have a Venonat? I used this Tangela on my team, I remember. I had that Tangela on my team. Teach you to a Pokemon metronome. I don't want that right now, thank you. Amber Pipe, okay. Yes, we're already aware of this. But yeah, I specifically used that Tangela on my team, I do remember. I don't have Ponyta, and also why would I trade it for you for a Seal, a Pokemon I already have? An important doctor! Here, make this a guy. Make this a guy for me, please. Maybe use it again if you aren't liking Victory Bell. When is it gonna be done? Okay. Alright, well. Hi, Tiffany! Thank you for clocking in for your shift. Archaeologists hate to see a Pokemon trainer. They can't take 2 steps without tripping on ancient fossils. Yeah, it just happens that way. It just happens that way. Let's go get a Venonat. Do I want to use Tangela again? Should I just see it through with Victory? I'm gonna see it through with Victory Bell. Tangela's had its chance. Although I do still want the Tangela. I still do want it for the Pokedex. So let's go here. Let's move Pokemon. We have a Venonat, right? Yeah, there it is. And we already have a Venomoth? Yes, we already have a Venomoth. So we don't need to worry about... Just gonna swap them like that real quick. And we'll be right there. Let's go trade that lady. Let's go trade. Doing the whole dex. I'm at least setting myself up for success in case I do decide to do the entire dex. But I don't know if I'm actually gonna do all that. This isn't where she was. She was in the next room over. Right? Yes. Right? No. Where was she in the first room? I don't know a thing. Just pulled an SIR from Prismatic Evolutions. It's Petron EX. It's your 3rd one. Oh man. Well, I guess you can trade it for something better, right? Right? I'm so sorry. Here, you want the Venonat? We'll send it to Norma. Should be ready after a trade. Cool. Wow, look at that. Look at that little digital transceiver. Is this Tangy? Is this Tangy the Tangela? I think this is my old friend. Tangeny, whatever. I think I called it Tangy as a kid, but I wasn't like reading all of the letters. Oh, there we go. We did it. Now we got this Tangela. What level are you? 22. Oh, what are you holding? You have something? What is it? Stardust? Sick! Money! Okay, let's go see, is my fossil finished now? I'm late, I'm sorry. No, I don't want to give it a nickname. I don't want to give it a nickname. Please don't make me. Please don't make me. Okay. Can I give you another fossil? Can I give you another fossil? How? Okay, so if you're somebody in here was shiny hunting Aerodactyl. If you're shiny hunting Aerodactyls, you have to like go check immediately every single time. Thanks so much for the follow. Do you have to go check every single time to see if it's shiny? Like you have to go into the Pokedex? Okay. And then we're gonna go in here. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Move them around. We're gonna take you and we're gonna put you in the party again. And put Tangeny down here. Cool. Okay. I think we're gonna rock with the team we have. I think we're gonna see it through. We're gonna see it through to the end. And if I still decide that I don't really like it that much, then there we go. Yeah, and it's locked, right? Yeah, okay. So I gotta go find the key in here. This is our little route. You can go up to Pallet Town. Is there trainers along that route? I don't actually know. Petrant, the purple one that is a berry. It's like a peach. It's like a peach pit. It's kind of purpley pinky. Kind of purple pink, whatever. Hello, Raticate. I don't have a Raticate, so I could catch that. That wouldn't be so bad. There are, but not many though. Got it. Rip Blues Raticate, alas. Alas and alack. Oranberry. Okay. Nice. Bite? Am I gonna knock you out? Oh, critical hit. Don't hurt him now. Oh, perfect. Okay. Can I just catch you, please? Can I just catch you? Can I use a Great Ball? Will it work? Yeah, it's a peach punt. Use a peach pit. Great Ball worked. We're chilling. A Persian set would go hard. A Persian set? Set of what? What do you mean? No nickname for you. I don't know you yet. I don't know who you are. You don't get a nickname. Okay. Wait, who's that over there? Oh, we walked through that banister a little bit. Did you see that? Oh, there's things here. There's things. Brick Break would be good to have, especially to help break reflect and light screen. On who? Who are you talking about right now? What? What are we talking about? At the current... I don't need to fight this guy. You're only level 26, and I don't need to catch you. Pokemon use of, like, Payday. Okay. I don't think I understand what we're talking about right here. I'm sorry. Can I... This is a wall. I thought that was a staircase. I thought that was a staircase. I'm so sorry. A Grimer? Oh, a Pokemon we need to catch. Exactly what I'm looking for. Let's go Water Pulse. Let's go Water Pulse. Disable. Oh man, now I can't use Water Pulse. Let's use another Great Ball. Grimer's so happy. I know he looks so pleased to be alive. And see, look how nice and easy. This is why I've only had a couple Great Balls up until now, because it's not that hard to catch most of the Pokemon I'm looking for. Look at that little face. Is that not the face of a little guy who's happy to be alive? Level 36, we'll fight it. We'll fight it. Get some experience from that. Let's go Surf. Because we don't care if we knock it out now. And it was a critical hit. Blastoise, my boy. Blastoise, my boy. Good job. Where am I from? California. Where are you from? I can't go here yet. I can't go here yet. We already have a Vulpix, but it's level 32, so I may as well slap it with a Water Pulse and get on going. Go skedaddle. How much did I get from that? Oh, that's not that many. I can probably afford to skip that next time. From Mexico, but live in New Zealand. Oh, that's quite a big move you've made. It's quite a move you made. How do you find that it compares? Like, what is the biggest difference that you noticed? You've got an Oranberry too. If only I had a Pokemon with the move Thief. That would have been handy to have here. Food? Oh, yeah, I can imagine you're not getting a lot of Mexican food in New Zealand. As a person who lives in California, Mexican food is very important. Very important to me. The food here is so sad. Oh no! I'm so sorry to hear that. Have we gotten to the point where we're encountering pretty much everything that we're gonna see in here? Are we gonna have to... Is this Pragmata? No. This is the I can't think of any games right now, Cal. I'm sorry. I tried, but I don't have it right now. Tacos? What about tacos? Oh, I'm sorry, child. I snuck up on a little kid in here. Oh man, what's a little kid doing in here? What's youngster Johnson up to? I would wear a shirt that says, I imagine you can't find a lot of Mexican food in New Zealand. Oh, would you? It's Taco Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday. Don't say that too loud though. in front of our friend over here who doesn't get to have any. Everyone loves tacos. Everybody does. It's delicious. Thank you so much, Cal, for the heart me and the rose. I appreciate it. It's GTA 6. Oh, you're right. It's GTA 6. How could I have forgotten? How could I have forgotten? Another Ekans? You just got a pocket full of snakes? Is that what you're rocking with right now? Okay. Okay. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Perfect. We're leveling up. We're doing amazing things. Okie dokie. Bite? And then surf right after so that it doesn't use an Oranberry if it's also carrying an Oranberry. Also gonna suggest Arcanine, but Vulpix is LeafGreen exclusive and Growlithe is Fire Red exclusive. Correct. I am playing LeafGreen. Oh, are you suggesting new Pokemon to add to my team? Because I'm pretty set with the team that I have right now. Joined because of the glasses? Why, thank you. So, I don't know what it is, but these glasses give people, like, a visceral reaction. Oh! Why, yes. Why, yes, I will press the switch. But some people hate them so intensely that it's kind of crazy, and some people think they're really, really cool. But in either case, it makes people immediately like people consider a lot when I'm wearing these glasses. Be one of those shirts that says a random thing with an unrelated image, like slap that sentence with Sonic the Hedgehog giving a thumbs up, and you've got a hit. Perfect. No, you're so right about that. You're so right. Oh, thank God for tanky Blastoise. Remind me of Alphabet's glasses. I had these before Alphaba came out, wearing those on her face, and I said, those are my glasses. And then I immediately ordered another pair because I needed a new pair, and I was just like, what if these become really popular and everybody buys all my glasses and I can't have my glasses when mine break? And so I have a spare pair because I panicked when these movies came out. Wouldn't it be crazy if on my merch shop I just start selling like meme shirts? Looks cool, but I also feel uneasy. I mean, it's just glasses. It's just glasses, that's all. No need to feel uneasy about it. I'm gonna use one of my nice repels that I just got, actually. Let's go use one of those repels, because I think that's the majority of the, I think that's the majority of the wild Pokemon that I'm gonna need to catch. Sounds good, Rogue. Okay, I think... Did it open? Yes, it opened this door. It closed that one, though, so we're gonna go hit the switch again. And then we're gonna go upstairs. Oh, I have to go for the... I have to press the button in the front of the thing. Okay. Isn't this... am I crazy, or is this supposed to be the lab or the mansion or whatever that they did experiments with the Mewtwo in? Hey, do you want to fight? You want to fight? No, that's actually how I felt seeing the glasses in the Wicked trailer. I was like, no! Sure, this said I had these glasses before Alphaba? Perfect. Oh, no. Oh, Charmander, I'm so sorry. Also, level 34 Charmander is kind of wild. That's kind of crazy. That's a really high level for a Charmander. Okay, you have a Charmeleon. What's this? Level 36? No, also level 34. Okay, I don't know what happened with you, but you should work on that. And it's not enough because I've got a Stoice. Burglar Arnie. Saying that with the level 40 Nidorina, but this is on maybe, you know what? You know what? Maybe I stand corrected. Maybe this guy got shamed the same way I did, and now is doing this out of spite. What's up, Uriah? How's it going? What's this say? Guyana. South America exists in the Pokemon universe. It's canon. A new Pokemon was discovered deep in the jungle. Yeah, this is what the place Mewtwo destroyed, right? Calcium. I also don't have my Nidorina is not a Pokemon that evolves via level up, so I mean they have to actively choose not to let their Pokemon evolve. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Gonna press the switch. Yes, please. Thank you. Who wouldn't? I like that it keeps saying who wouldn't. I think that's funny. What's this book say? What lore are we getting? Christened the newly discovered Pokemon Mew. Yep. In South America, Mew was found. That's good to know. I didn't realize that. We already went in there. Is this anything? Is this something? Okay, I don't think this is useful to me. I already went up there, right? And we're gonna go up here. Testing out my new CPU. Cool. And how is it? Hey! Hey! Okay. That guy was definitely looking at me and then was just like willfully avoiding my gaze. It's because you're a burglar. Is that it? Is that why? I feel like if you took that sprite and reskinned it as Santa, that would be pretty good. That's all. I just think that'd be neat. I just think that'd be neat if you made it Santa Claus. Why are there so many burglars in here? Are they all on a team? Because typically I feel like if one person is burgling, then they're gonna like not want there to be other people burgling. Know what I'm saying? Mew gave birth. We named the newborn Mewtwo. Forgot that that's canon to the lore also. My gosh. Okay, how do I... Immediately found a Pokemon. Took one step. One singular step. Get this thing out of here. Get this thing out of my sight. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to know where it's going. Okay, let's go with another Max Repel. Is this... We can't go up here. How am I supposed to get up there? Was there another staircase up there? Do I need to press the button again? I think there was. I think there was another staircase. I think that's what the deal was. Yes, correct. Okay. Alright, let's look around before we press the button. Look around at what we've got, because I don't know where the next door is gonna come down. Okay. So we're gonna lock that up. What would Santa Claus's team be? Delibird would for sure be. Let's get a Sawsbuck in here. A Sawsbuck or 2 or 3. You know? Sawsbuck for sure. I feel like maybe Cryogonal would be an interesting choice. Definitely some more like ice types. What other Pokemon would maybe do like... What Pokemon do we think about when we think about like gifts or like giving? Maybe like a candy Pokemon. Oh, Wordier? Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely a Wordier. You're so right. I feel like there's more Pokemon that are like very gift adjacent that I'm not remembering right now. But maybe like a Swirlix? Maybe like a Swirlix? Mr. Rhyme? Why Mr. Rhyme? Explain. Explain further. Oh, I did mean to switch out. Oh, I did mean to switch out. Whoopsie. Ooh. What if we do a big surf? What if we do a big surf? What happens? What happens to you? Oh, thank God. Okay. Let's swap out to somebody else though. After this. Voltorb. Yeah, get this out of here. Let's put Nidorina in. Kadabra needs to be leveled up. It's only level 40. I need to get it some more levels. It was just very useful earlier. Needs Stantlers for pulling his sleigh. We were saying Wurdeer specifically, or oh, I've lost it immediately. I literally just said it. Sawsbuck. Sawsbuck is what we said. Do you have experience share yet? Yeah, I have it on Victory Bell right now. Because it's not going to be useful for a little bit. So I just kind of set it on there. I expected to use Kadabra more, and I should probably use the experience share to it, but nah. Oh, now you're poisoned. Now you're poisoned and you're going away. Now you're gonna leave. Good night. Sleep tight. Rhyme is he's kind of an old man like Santa? I guess. Sudowoodo kind of reminds me of the tiny tree in the Charlie Brown Christmas, if that works. Could. It could. Probably not, Jinx. I don't know. What do you have right now? Do you have the amulet coin? Is that what you're holding? I gotta yeah, swap that out. I really thought I was gonna be using Kadabra more. We're gonna give that to you. Fully forgot I even had that. I don't know what I thought Kadabra was holding. I was just like, ah, he's got something. He's got something in his little mitts. Little greasy mitts. This way. Wasn't she in the Pokemon Christmas episode? I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't recall. Okay. So that was kind of nothing. Ugh. Nope. Not that. Not that. This one. This one. Gotta use our repel again. Because I don't want to just be encountering all these random wild Pokemon. How do we move forward here? Was it something? Can I fall off the edge here? Sure can! Bet. Okay. I forgot that you can do that. Okay. That's not something you would expect. Obama snow for a Christmas tree? I mean, I saw the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie. So I feel like that makes sense to me. Well, that's dramatic. To do that little damage is crazy. I can't think of why Jinx would, like, actually have anything to do with Santa Claus, though. Like, maybe it was in the show, but I feel like it's not. I feel like that's not the move, you know? As elf to be an elf? That's so funny. Is this thing gonna try to self-destruct as well? Well, we're not gonna give it a chance, so we're okay. We're chilling. As elf to be an elf. Maybe like an Impidimp would be a little bit funny. But that's not the exact same kind of elf situation. Ooh, what's over here? Oh, there's a door to the outside? Downstairs? I want to know what the door goes to. What's out here? I'm sorry? Oh, that's so messed up. That's messed up. Have I seen the trailer for Hungry Hungry Hippo horror movie? I haven't. What the heck? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's chill. It's okay. Why would that take me out the same door? Why would that take me out the same door? That's illegal. That's illegal. That's not what doors do. That's not what doors are about. Don't go out that door. Well, yeah, it's a little late for that. It's a little late. Carcoal for the coal to give kids on the naughty list. No, that's so funny. That's so good. Why would that be where that went is what I would like to know. And now I gotta hit the switch again. All the switches are the opposite of what I want them to be. Jump off the bridge. Why would that? I just wanted to know what was out the door. Why would out the door be the same door as the other door that I went through? I should save. I haven't saved in a while. Yes. We have added almost 10 Pokemon to our Pokedex in that time, by the way. Hey! Hey! Where am I now? Did you get lost in here, bro? Did you get lost? Alright, we got a Growlithe on our hands. We can do that. We can handle that. We should probably heal up Soyce pretty soon, but... we may also switch to a different Pokemon to lead us out. The world is our oyster. The world is Cloyster. Chingling for Jingle Bells? You're doing good. Googled Christmas things because my Christmas knowledge stops at Santa and trees. I fully was not able to think of anything else, so I'm glad that you're doing that. I'm glad that that's what's happening. I'm glad that was the goal. Okay. Because I don't know what it is. Well, no, I do know what it is. It's streaming. It's streaming that makes all my other brain cells go out the window because I'm reading two chats and I'm trying to pay attention to the game and I'm trying to talk at the same time, and it just takes up too much of my brain. September 1st, Mewtwo is far too powerful. We have failed to curb its vicious tendencies. Yeah, you bet your sweet bippy you have. Okay, what's that? Okay. What door could that it opens that one? Probably. We have to click the front of the statue. It's the front of the statue. Oh, I see. I see what's happened. I see what they've done. What avatar element do you bend? Guess! Guess! Guess. I don't believe that you will guess it correctly. That's what everybody guesses incorrectly! That is the answer that everybody guesses wrong. It's fire. I'm a firebender. Everybody guesses water. It's not water, it's fire. Quick, guess. Okay, we don't like J.K. Rowling. Guess what house I am in also. If it's the one you don't think it is, then that's probably the answer. Good stuff in this area of the Cinnabar Mansion. Sweet. Well, I'm gonna find as many things as I can. Yeah, Azkaban. No, nope, it's Slytherin. It's Slytherin. It's the green one every single time, and you know what happens? Every single time what happens is I was never really into like Harry Potter or anything, and I especially am not now because of everything. But every single time I would talk to somebody who was a really big fan of Harry Potter and everything, they'd be like, "Oh, what house are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm Slytherin," and they go, "That's not true. That's not true. Do the like little test thing again." And I go, "Okay," and I take the test, and every single time it comes up green. Every single time, and they go, "That can't possibly be right," blah, 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 and they freak out about it, and I'm just like, "It's." I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what's happening. But everybody guesses Hufflepuff, everybody guesses water, and it's fire, and it's Slytherin. Every single time. And that's just, I just think it's a... Oh my god, we're the same! And Slytherin too, which is weird because I thought that would say explosion? Explosion? Is that what you're meaning to say? Let's heal a little bit. Let's heal a little bit. We're experiencing some health challenges here. Let's use our super potions here. For my headcanon, that's not true. And so that's the thing about That's the thing about people on the internet. You don't know people on the internet just because of how they seem. Which isn't to say that I'm like secretly evil and blah blah blah, but it's like you don't just because somebody is like ah ha ha blah 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 doesn't mean that they're a Hufflepuff. Christian, you give off fire element bending vibes. Christian, Christian, yeah, what bending? What element are you? And so it's wild for people to like headcanon that your personality is completely different. That's kind of a weird thing to do. Ooh, Blizzard! I don't know if I have anything that can learn Blizzard, but that'd be pretty neat. Took the chat. Don't you take the test via chat GPT. Christian, are we the same? Are we the same individual? Okay, but I would also say, Christian, when I talk to you in person, you also have kind of like a whimsical vibe about you that I feel like we maybe share in common in some way. And so I feel like it's not too far off to be like, yeah, we're both whatever. Like we're both these personality trait things. Blizzard on Blastoise? Can Blastoise learn Blizzard? That doesn't seem like a Pokemon that should be allowed to learn Blizzard. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I asked for. Okay. Blizzard. And Nidorina can learn Blizzard. What a journey. Do I want Blastoise to learn Blizzard? Do I have anything that I'd like to be taken off instead? I'm not smart enough to know how to use Protect in the right time, so let's use Blizzard instead. Hey, have you personally ever seen Christian and Finn in the same room at the same time? Imagine I was like typing off to the side to be in chat all the time. Technically, me and Finn have never been in the same place at the same time. That's a fat lie, and you know it. That's a fat lie. What happened with the Articuno? I decided I was gonna come back to it later. Cause I didn't want to deal with it right then. These are one more of those repels. That was AI. Okay, alright, whatever. But yeah, no, people will assume that just because you have like, I don't know, a cheerful demeanor, that means that you're... I'm sorry? Do I have to hit this thing? I have to hit this thing. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, but just because you have a cheerful demeanor means that you have a certain personality type, and it means you can't be... couldn't possibly be an ambitious individual. Because that's what it is. All together at the end. Never seen either of you ever. We've never been in the same room. Are you Christian? If you might be. You might be. Hoping this year at Worlds I make all 3 days injury-free. Knowing you, you're gonna get hurt right at the end. Just like last year. Just like last year, you're gonna hurt yourself right at the end. In a stunning turn of events. Alright guys, shall we get into... Blaine's gym? Now that we have the key. Champ in the making. I've got a ground type. I've got a guy with ground type attack, and I think I'm gonna use that a little bit. What's the green stuff in the hair? My brother in Christ, do you not know what hair dye is? Do you not know what hair dye is? Alright, let's go dig here. I think Nidorino will do well. I'm trying to see. Let's go dig again. I'm excited for Worlds to be in San Francisco, though. Anybody else planning to try to go? simply must knock on wood now. Hopefully he did. Oh! What country bans hair dye? I don't know what country that is. Because I knew that, I mean, I knew socially a lot of other countries are very strict, but I didn't know that they would, I didn't think there was a straight up ban. We live in New York, we don't own wood. Oh no! You can't even tell them to go out and touch grass because there's not any. Alright, these guys are not... I'm feeling currently over-leveled. And I don't know if I should feel over-leveled. Like, when we fight Blaine, is this gonna be, like, way worse? Dang, that sucks. They're linked to cancer. Everything's linked to cancer. We're doing this very slowly. We're doing this very slowly. Sorry guys, this is kind of boring right now. Ah, good, poisoned. That should help me. I think that I'll still take this out on this next singular dig, but you know. Okay. And yes, okay, amazing. If I fight all the gym trainers, you should be close to the levels of Blaine's team. Alright, well I'm planning to anyway. That's always the plan when I go to fight all these. Hello? So a couple years ago, the whole park in the middle of it. Anyone hear about the huge Avatar leak? Like the whole movie got leaked or something? Or a bunch of clips did and somebody says that they have like the whole movie? Yeah, crazy. Insane. Cousin said he followed me when I was only at 1,000 followers. Cool. Well, then you were here a very long time ago when this was an art account rather than a Pokemon account. Entire movie got leaked. Feel bad for the creators. Yeah, that sucks. How does that even happen? How does that happen? We're gonna dig again. We don't have a whole lot of PowerPoints on dig, so we're probably gonna switch from Nidorina pretty soon. Swap somebody else into here. Good for Kadabra. Finally got to level 41. We'll stay now. Let's use a different move because we only have 2 uses of dig left. What does double kick do here? What do we got? Nothing. Fat lot of nothing. Hi Bulu, how's it going? Don't feel bad for Paramount, but I feel bad for the cast and crew. Yes. The creators. The people who actually like worked on and made it. It's kind of tough because like I don't feel super bad for like Paramount as a company because they are a big corporation. However, I feel like a lot of big corporations are I'm worried about monopoly and everything, and so I am concerned about Paramount in that regard because they're definitely not one of the bigger ones comparatively, and I'm worried about something happening to them in that regard. Does that make sense? Ground type attack? I'm almost out of digs, and so I didn't want to use it. Great, anxious, excited. Your brother got a husky? Oh, amazing! How fun! Those are loud dogs a lot of the time. Those are not chill creatures. And so, yeah, I don't feel bad for Paramount per se, but I do worry. I do worry. You know what I mean? You already have a pit? Oh, I love pitties. They're so cute. I love them. I want one someday. I want a little baby pitty. 4 Pokemon? Okay, that's too many. That's too many. You don't need that. You don't need all that. You're gonna water pulse. Send you to the bottom of the well. Did I hear also that, like, because it got leaked, they're, like, canceling their, like, theater release, which makes me so bummed out. I wanted to see that in theaters. I haven't watched it. I have been avoiding that specifically because I do want to watch it properly when it's like actually out and it's not like just a leaked video. Okay. And Growlithe should be good in a second. It's one family that owns so much of the entertainment industry or something like that. Don't worry, capitalism breeds innovation and encourages competition. Nice. Yeah! The theater release was already canceled prior to the leak. I saw something that was going to be a streaming release. Ah, dang it! Well, I was hoping it was going to be in there. It's Canella, 2.5 years, and Pepper, 2 months old. Oh, so cute! What does your pit bull look like? What kind of husky are we talking? Is it like the classic, like, gray and white husky? I don't like that I have to talk to them individually, rather than them just being like, "Oh, you're here," because you should understand that I am present. You heard that as well? Interesting. Interesting. I didn't realize that they were canceling it ahead of time. I thought that it was because of the leaks about the movie. Sorry, burglar Ramon. Okay. How are we almost there? Okay. Do you have fire types also? Do you have fire types? Is that what we're doing? Irvin, thank you so much for the heart me and the Go Popular. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How are you doing today? Rapidash. Oh, that's my level. That's my level right there. I wish, like, I feel bummed out that movies don't get, like, I don't know, I feel like theatrical releases don't happen for a lot of movies like this that I would actually like to see in theaters, but the problem is I don't want to go to theaters for most things. And so I can see why they wouldn't want to risk it, but a lot of the movies that I would actually want to see in theaters are ones that get, like, streaming releases, you know? And a lot of the movies that are, like, in theaters are ones that I'm like, well, I don't really care about seeing that in the theater, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to watch it on streaming. And so it's a double-edged sword of, like, I don't want to be in the movie theater for most of these movies, but the ones that I do aren't there. Does that make sense? That kind of sucks. Kind of bums me out. Cause, like, I would see, like, whenever they do the touring, like, Studio Ghibli movies in theaters, that's always quite fun. I've been really liking the concept of them doing a lot more, like, older movies that already released, like, a while ago in theaters again. I think that's pretty good. Like, when, oh, I forget the names of them all. What movies? It was the Star Wars movie. It was one of them. It was... Oh gosh. I don't remember the individual names of them. Was it the Clone Wars? I don't know. It was one of those, though, that released in theaters recently, and me and my husband went to go see it, and that was really fun to watch like that. Hello, how's it going, Brooks? And so I'm liking them putting movies back into theaters that I've seen so many times not on streaming, and now I get to see it in theaters as well. All right. There's a lot of trainers in Blaine's gym. My goodness. So many things get streaming releases and never get released on physical media. Yeah, and you don't get, there's no like Blu-ray or DVD about these. Yeah. No, I agree. Okay, let's save here. And I think we're gonna do fine. I don't think we're gonna have a problem. I really just think we can walk into this and mess him up. So was this guy just like locked in here? Because we had to go find the key, was this guy and everybody else just like locked in here sitting? Oh, I have to go back and get my fossil. Y'all gotta remind me. I need to go back and get my fossil after this. But yeah, been thinking a little bit more about collecting more physical media because streaming is the way that it is now, and it's kind of insane. I don't really like going to the theater, but mostly because other people sometimes ruin the experience, and sometimes the floor is sticky, and I hate that. Kim to Julie, thank you so much for the single bit. I appreciate it. It's very nice of you. Oh, you're right, we didn't even open a card pack. That means we gotta stop right in the middle of our Pokemon battle, and we've gotta open a pack. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. We're gonna open 2 Japanese packs of Nihil Zero. That's where we're going. Wish there was a movie theater where you live. Oh, there's no movie theater where you live. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, here we go. What energy or what type do you think the first Pokemon in this first pack is going to be? Get your guesses in now. Let's go fire. Let's go fire because of Blaine. My little brother wanted to go to the Minecraft movie for his birthday, and when it came out, it was the worst movie-going experience ever. Oh, I know! Alright, you're thinking normal, fire, electric, another lightning, psychic, water, grass. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I think they call it lightning type. This is, I guess, technically normal type. Like, it's technically an item. Also, my one nail came off, and I'm so... Just slapped my cards onto the ground. My one nail came off. Eddie! Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the raid! Welcome Ian, welcome Ian. How was your stream today? Let me get you a shout out real quick. It's been a long time. How are you doing? Oh, it's not working. It's not working. Okay, there we go. W Raid, thank you so much for joining us. We're opening a card pack because that got redeemed, and we're playing LeafGreen right now. Let's see. All right, and we're finishing this card pack that I unceremoniously slapped out of my hands. All right, we've got a Binnacle, Ghastly, Talonflame, and the card that I think I flipped upside down. I don't think this was in the pack upside down. We got Barbaracle. Dang, we got Binnacle and Barbaracle in the same pack. That's kind of funny. All right, second pack. What what type do you think the first Pokemon in here is going to be? We're doubling down. I'm saying fire again. I'm saying fire again. Blaine's gym is unfortunately such a pushover. So long as you have the type matchup, like, perfectly fine. A guess for grass, a guess for water, another guess for water. Let's see what we get. Join Team Fire? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Joining the winning team, I suppose. Joining the winning team, we've got Salandit right here. Amazing. A little Scatterbug. Amora. We've got a Hollow Dugong and whatever that is. I don't know. Thank you, Uriah, so much for redeeming open a card pack. Let us move right along then. We are currently in the process of fighting Blaine. We had to pause in the middle of our fight with Blaine in order to open the pack. If you need to raid and run, by all means, I totally understand. But if you want to stick around, my name's Finn. I do a lot of stuff with Pokemon. If you follow along and watch Evie's streams pretty frequently, you're probably pretty used to somebody who's really, really into Pokemon. So that's the vibe we got going on. It's mostly Pokemon. Every once in a while we'll switch to doing something else, playing another game, but for the most part this is what we're doing. But thank you so much for being here, and if you need to go lie down, I understand that. I can't even blame you for that. But right now we're about to absolutely sweep Blaine, I think. If this one-shots... Oh, it didn't, but you know, it was pretty close. It was pretty close. Oh, wait, is he gonna take himself down? Yes, he did. Okay, so technically, one shot every single one of them, because I didn't have to hit him again. We earned the Volcano Badge. Volcano Badge heightens the special attack stats of your Pokemon. You can have this too. What is that? Fire Blast. Nice. Don't waste it on a water Pokemon. Well, yeah. Is this a painting in the back? Oh. They're besties. I forgot about that. Okay. And we gotta walk all the way out of here now. We can't even run. Gonna do the island side story. You mean the Sevi Islands? Isn't that post-game? I think it's less of a side story and more of a post-game situation. Or at least that's what I'm gonna wait until. I'm gonna wait until it's after I finish off the gyms. Ah! It's me, Bill. Long time no see. I sure am. How about spending time with me? What? Oh, I guess we do it now. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we're going right now. Let's do that, I suppose. I thought I was gonna go fight Giovanni. I don't know about that. Hello. Okay, are my Pokemon healed? Am I okay? I'm not being kidnapped, but it feels like I'm being kidnapped. What is happening? Hi, dude. What's going on? Hi, Michael. Giovanni can wait. I guess he can. Oh man, my fossil is left behind. I was gonna go get it afterwards. Oh no. How's your machine running? It's running fine, but we're too remote out here. PCs on this island just can't link up with your PC, Bill. Oh. Actually, can I get you to do me a favor? One next door is 2. Okay. Can you deliver this meteorite? Were you about to see Steven Stone? That'd be funny. I'm gonna go to 2 Island, take this. I got a pass! I got a pass to go to the other islands, baby! Absolutely. Let you travel between islands 1, 2, and 3. You should have this too. Extra page in the town map. Perfect! Bill is being so inconsiderate of the fossil you left in the oven. Okay. What do we have? I am a stranger. Okay. Oh, volcano! We know a thing or two about a volcano. Okay, can I please heal now? Is this my first playthrough? First playthrough on the Switch, but this was the second game I ever played. This is the second Pokemon game I ever played, so I played it originally on my Game Boy Advanced. But I don't remember the order anything happens. Because I don't know, I was a child. I was a child when this game came out initially. When I was playing that. On sunny days, I step out and gaze upon the volcano. That's my daily routine. Good. When was the last time Mount Ember erupted? I called it Mount Umber. That's not correct. What about you? What about you? What's your deal? Young people all want to go off to big cities, but I want to stay here forever. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. What else? Am I gonna go to the second island now? I go island number 2? I go secondary. I don't even know what I picked. Where did I go? Where did I pick to be? I am on 2 Island. Okay, great. How do I, like, leave? How do I go away completely? Old woman who lives at a cottage on the Cape. Okay. I still have a cut on Victory Bell, so that's perfect. What's through here? And it's an item I thought it would be! That child is watching me loot the island. Sorry. Okay, you with your Game Boy? It's no good to go alone. What do you mean? Talking about this old lady a lot. She must be important for something. She must be important. I don't remember what she does, but I bet she's something. There's the game corner. That's where the guy is, I think. The jumping game. Okay. Okay. Can you fly away? Yeah, I think so. And where's Lostelle? Brings me lunch every day right about now. I don't know who you're talking about, but I have just got my looks, so what if something's happened? Oh, Oh! Oh my gosh. What is happening? Huh? What are we doing right now? What is happening? Yeah, that's what they were saying on, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm trying to give somebody I think I'm trying to give that guy a rock. But now I have to go find his friend. Okay, I don't... No, I'm okay. I don't want to do it. What's my team looking like? Team is looking like this right now. That's what we got. Hello, Riley. Okie dokie. What do you have? Noted. Thank you, sir. Anyway. I think that guy's the move reminder. Yep, that's what he said he was. That is what he said he was. Wow. Wow. So snazzy. This was the exact context in which I found a shiny Spearow. It was on the Sevi Islands. I don't remember which one specifically, but... what is happening here? Are you the old lady? What? What do you have? Oh! Hydro Cannon? Do I want Hydro Cannon? I don't want Hydro Cannon. Sorry. Sorry, I don't want Hydro Cannon. That's not my journey. Thank you. Let's leave. Let us go. I don't want to be there anymore. Now we gotta go all the way to the third island to look for a child? Question mark? I think a child. Being so chalant, it would be exciting if you found one on the same spot. That would be so funny. That would be so funny. I think part of the problem also with when I found it initially is I didn't really realize... It's like I was looking away from the screen at the time. What? Can we stop this? Can we make this not happening anymore? Hey! There's a cave. Cave right at the beginning here. Oh, hey. What am I doing? Prospecting for gold. Okay, good. I hope you found some. Haven't played. I feel terrible. You're gonna catch up tonight. Oh, no. You gotta catch up. You gotta. This island belongs to... Okay, so this is overrun by bicyclists. Typical. What's that? Oh. Rocks and gems? I'm supposed to talk to somebody who likes rocks and gems. Well, we're gonna walk in to here really quick so that I can teleport back here, I think. Can't surf. Good to know. Did I hear the news? Yes. What's your badge count? And hour into the game, let's see. I have 7 badges, I know that, and 23 hours and 47 minutes. Riley, I would appreciate it if you would stop being fixated on that. What's with the hostile attitude? It's mighty cold of you. A gang of followers have been raising havoc on their bikes. Do you have any idea how much trouble they've caused us on the island? Don't get it all. What is... Look at this place. What do you do for entertainment? You ought to be thanking us for livening up the sleepy village. But hey, if you insist, you can try making us leave. I'm gonna make you leave. Don't you know it's not polite? Yeah! Yeah! The robbing her in the game just wants you to let it happen? I guess so. I guess I can't battle him or anything. Same amount of hours still on the ship after rubbing the captain's back. Perfect. Perfect. Really good. Biker Goon. His name is Goon? That's unfortunate for you in today's climate. That's pretty sucky. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. Alright, let's see. Riling up a sleepy village. But we like to sleep here. Justin, thank you so much for the rose. I feel a little bad for the kid who asked to stop talking about about that one thing that he always brings up every single time, but it's just a little too much. It gets a little frustrating when I get a little frustrated when people come into chat and they just want to talk about one thing over and over again, and it's like, I don't know if it's like an attempt to like become memorable or something, so that they're a person that I then am like, oh yeah, you're the person who does this or whatever. But it does get on my nerves a little bit, because I'm just like, you could just talk to me like I'm a person. I'm just a person. You guys are all not very good at battling, unfortunately. How do you trade? Yeah, you can trade evolve if you have like, but you have to have somebody locally near you with the game as well that you can trade with. You can't, there's no like internet connection thing. Not good at battling either. Oh, Christian. You're probably a little better. You're probably a little better than me, at least. Hey, if I got into Pokemon Champions, probably I would be doing worse than you. And you know that. You know that, right? You and I both. Surf. Get him. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I get it. I understand that it's hard to talk in a chat and everything, but I get a little grouchy sometimes when people will just like, I don't know, bait me to talk about stuff repeatedly. It just feels a little weird. Full-time Pokopia player now. Christian, have you been playing a lot of Pokopia? Do you actually have it? I don't remember if I knew if you actually had it. Played 10 games of Pokemon Champions and lost 10 times. Oh no. Can I Blizzard here? Can I Blizzard here? Oh. Well, I didn't do a ton, but that was pretty cool. Zygarde, Mewtwo, or Dragapult. What a very specific 3 Pokemon to choose between. I guess I'm not a huge Zygarde fan, and I don't know a ton about Dragapult, so I guess I'll say Mewtwo. But Mewtwo is generally not my favorite, so I don't know. None of those 3 are huge for me. Kadabra's trying to learn Trick. It's not even specifically like a protecting my peace thing. It's kind of just like tricks the phone to trading held items with user. No, I won't do that. But it's just sort of a situation where it feels like I'm not being talked to like a person. It's sort of just like a dance monkey dance kind of thing, where I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, hey, I'm just a guy. These are the 3 decks I'm debating building for TCG. Yeah, Mewtwo. Go with Mewtwo. See how it goes. I have to heal. I'm gonna pass away. Please fix me. Please. Okay. Grand. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Now, are you guys cool? Are you guys chilling? Goons. Oh, why thank you. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. What about you? Do you want to give me something also? Looking for Lacelle? Bond Bridge a while ago? Okay. Well, now we have a lead. Having to pay attention to so many people in chats seems like it can get overwhelming. Yeah. Berry Forest. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna play the game on 2 Island. Okay, cool. Do you have anything cool in the Pokemart that I might want to buy? Yes. It's Celadon Department Store is giant. Berries are free and never run out. I guess so. I suppose that's true. I don't need any of this yet. I bought so many other things earlier, so I am chillin'. I am chillin'. What do we got here? Oh. Papa keeps lying to me and won't let me go out to play. What? It's never going to the berry forest alone because there's ghosts there. Well, I guess we're gonna go find out. I'll be the judge of that. I will be the judge of that. It's the most populous. Should we, like, check on that lady that was maybe getting robbed? Oh, I feel like we should go check and see if she's well. Someone named me Lost L. I would be self-conscious about anyone ever losing track of me. Yeah? You good now, ma'am? Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're chilling now. That was- I just wanted to make sure she wasn't, like, lying there. Unconscious or something. I don't know. I don't know. Just a little worrying. Wanted to live somewhere quiet. Today I think I'll go out fishing. Good for you. What a life to live. I wish I was living this kind of life. Just like on an island, just chilling. She really held her own. Yeah, I guess so. Can't make the spoon bend with my mind. Okay, well, that's too bad. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Sure. I don't know what to do with that section of the conversation, but yeah, sure. Did you save her or did you ignore the robbery until she got up? Well, it wouldn't let me go talk to her. Gasp. It wouldn't let me go talk to her, so I couldn't do anything about it. She was just kind of having a bicycle riding around her, and it was freaking me out a little bit, so I had to go back and check to make sure Miss Girl was okay. Okay, here we go. Let's go this way. Oh, I remember these girls. I think I've refought these girls quite a number of times. I think I used to use the what's the word? The Versus Seeker on them quite often. Cause Clefairies are pretty good. Pretty solid. Let's go for a shockwave. Like the Shining Twins, quite literally. Very much so. Very much so giving the Shining. But it's like 2 trainers to fight at once, 2 Pokemon to fight at once, and it gives a decent amount of experience points. Or maybe not. Maybe I made that up as a kid. Excuse me, one sec. We're good, we're good. My throat's just getting dry. See, I can do it right back to you. Maybe they don't give as much experience points as I thought they did. 1776? 1776? Alright, we're just gonna walk through the grass real gentle. Because I don't want to use a repel. A PG. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Make her champion of the region. Yeah, get her in there. A max repel we found on this rock. In the rock? On the rock? I'm not really sure. Where are you off to in such a hurry? I am walking so patiently right now. What do you mean, where am I going in such a hurry? Her character model is so cute, though. I love that. 1776. If we subtract 1700 from it and then reverse it... Oh my gosh, you're right. I'm using a whole blizzard on this Bulbasaur. That's crazy. Don't miss the gift shroomish on this island. Neat. We'll see. I replace Victory Bell with a shroomish. Ivysaur. Do you have Venusaur also? That'd be a little kooky. If it ends up being another Pokemon in this line or another poison type in general, we should switch to like Kadabra or something though. To even out the playing field with the team. Ivysaur, yeah, we'll swap. Oh no, you're level 43! Okay, Nidorina needs the experience share next. Let's go Firo. Firo's a little under-leveled. V developer trolling us if she doesn't have a Venusaur. Nope, she doesn't. She doesn't. She's a level 36 Ivysaur instead. Alas. Couldn't have been known. There we go. Easy. Okay, we're gonna switch the experience share because I don't need it to be over here. I don't need you to have that anymore. The bag is full? What do you mean the bag is full? How bag be full? How bag full? How? How bag full? What do we do? What do we do about that? You know what? You know what? I have to hand somebody something. What do you mean? I didn't know the bag would fill up, especially not at this level. We'll go sell some stuff at the store later, I suppose. You know what? You know what what we're gonna do? Bam! Now you can't evolve. And now I can take the item from you. And we're gonna give it to you. There we go. The bag has a limiter. Well, yeah, but I've never hit it before. Alright, let's go sell some stuff at the store really quick before we continue on in case there's anything else to pick up. Okay, alright, get on out of here. Get on out of here. Where's the store? Store. Okay, here we go. Take some of my things away because I have too many of them. I don't need all of these things. We're gonna take the Stardust. We're gonna have you take this big pearl. Poor Victory Bell will never evolve. Exactly. Take the... I'm never gonna use these. Take these. Take this. Take this as well. Take these. Both of them. Nice. We're not gonna use this either. Uh-huh. Yeah. And we're gonna use these repels when we get to the grass. Because we have all this max repels. Alright, there we go. There we go. Let's skedaddle on there now. I kind of want to give the black glasses to Blastoise, just because I think it would be fun. Oh. Victory Bell's character development story ended. They're holding the Everstone now. Yeah, you can't progress past that. Speak of the devil, look, we found a Bellsprout that we're gonna run away from. I'm also gonna switch out... Blastoise doesn't need to be the first one. Let's switch to Firo. Feel like that's fine. Let's use a repel for 100 steps. They'll look cool with those glasses too. I know, it's kind of like a Squirtle Squad moment. Hey! Hey! Yeah, okay, I thought so. I was just like, yeah, I think you might want to fight. I think you seem like you might want to fight. Tuber Alexis. She's a tuber. A YouTuber? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Great. About to use Staryu. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously. Obviously. About to use Krabby. About to use Krabby. Oh, I thought it was gonna erase it from the screen. I was incorrect. There we go. Okay, another Krabby. Should we... Pretty cool? Pretty cool? Yeah! Okay, where is this now? Hoopla!
It sounds like a lot of...
Hoopla!
Sounds like a...
Hoopla! Hoopla!
Sounds like a lot of hoopla to make over a little Krabby Patty, right? Wrong!
Why did this lady want me to stay away? Oh, a whole Kingler. How about we use this? Hello, Toad's Universe. How are you doing today? How are things going for you? Let's do another aerial ace. Doing good. Glad to hear it. Wow, this thing is a little stronger than I wanted it to be. I was hoping to two-shot it. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. We got caught off doing some stuff on this island rather than continuing our gym challenge. And now we're running errands, and now we're looking for somebody lost. Somebody named Lostel is lost, which, like, yeah, yikes. Fair enough. Fair enough with a name like that. But now we're just like battling children with inner tubes on the beach, and that's just sort of how our life is going at the moment, it seems. Nice. And we're taking them out in one singular aerial ace every single time. Okay, Poly World. Do we think the next one is going to be Polyrath, or is that like fake? Is that fake? Bad with acronyms, HBY, and I thought it was my birthday. It's Finn's birthday? Yeah, no, I do that all the time. I did think HBY at first did mean happy birthday, and I was like, oh, thank you. And I was like, wait. Wait a second. That's not true. Thank you so much for the follow. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us here today. It's another Poliwag. Okay. All right. Okay. Seems a little silly to me. Hello. How far until we go see the berries? Is this the bridge they were talking about? The Bond Bridge? Bellsprout? Easy. Easy money. We're running out of PowerPoints for Aerial Ace. That's becoming so bad. Ooh, we're almost leveled up. And Aerial Ace. Because Drill Peck's a little stronger, right? Yes! Yeah! Sounded like Blue from Blue's Clues. What did I say that sounded like Blues from Blue's Clues? I can kind of do a Blue from Blue's Clues. I don't know how good that one is. I haven't heard that one often. Alright, what do we got in here? We're in the Berry Forest. I'm looking for a lost child in the forest. That's an item. That's an item for me to pick up. Okay, okay. I could cut this down, but I may as well, I guess. That takes us back. This is a berry. Is it not? Is it not a berry? Look at that. Look at that little patch on the ground. That looks like it is. I guess not. This? Why no berry? Why, if not berry, why berry shape? If not berry, why berry shape? We already have a drowsy, so we are perfectly good. Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of like little random impressions that I have on lock pretty well. I guess I add Blue from Blue's Clues into that as well. Because I can do that pretty well. But I've always been able to like copy sounds relatively well, so long as they're within my vocal range, of course. But I have a good Yoshi. I have a harder time with that one now than I used to as a kid. What else? What else? What else? Can kind of do Toad. That one's hard to get into though. Ow! Ow! What else? Birdo? Ow, ow. That one's pretty fun. What else? What else? A lot of Pokemon ones, obviously. I got a lot of Pokemon impressions that just, like, happened to me by nature of the fact that I've been doing this for so long. It was Yoshi, got it. Got it, got it. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of the Yoshi one. I've had that one for a long time because I've always been a Yoshi person. Ooh, can I catch this so then I don't have to evolve the other one? Yeah, let's try a Great Ball. It's just a Pidgeotto. It's just a Pidgeotto. I don't remember what Birdo sounded like, but then you did it just now, and that's literally Birdo. That's her. That's the girl. I love her so much. Was she in the Mario movie? I want Birdo in the Mario movie. No nickname. You don't need that. Let's use this repel, so then we can empty our bag once again. Oh. Oh. Aha, there's a berry. Was she cool? Did she do cool stuff? The way that I want Birdo to? We are on like a twisty little journey through here. Not a berry, although berry shaped. What is floating in the water up there? You guys see that? Oh, Pokeball reflection. Yes, yes. Okay, another berry. Oh, multiple berry. Background villain hench person? No, but Birdo is a friend now. We love Birdo. How dare they vilify her? Okay, Pekka-berry, pretty good. Is there anything down this way? I mean, obviously up is the way that you're probably supposed to go, but oh, this is annoying. Now we have to go figure out what that is. We have to go figure out what that is since they've made it so difficult to get to. What is that? What is this? Okay. A Weepin' Bell? A Weepin' Bell is what you're gonna show me? Fine. Get out of here. A Weepin' Bell is what you're gonna do to me right now? Great. Good night! Good night, sweet prince. Let's chop that down. Has Birdo ever been a villain? She used to be, but then she started racing with them and stopped appearing as a villain in the games. But she used to fire at you with stuff. Check the patch with no grass? Okay. Sometimes they do put items there and there might be something good there. We don't know. I'm gonna use a repel again immediately after this because I'm gonna bite somebody if another Weepin' Bell comes at me like this. Okay. There we go. Okay. Alright. Okay. Fear is pretty tough. Pidgeotto's overrated. I just like using it because nobody else seems to, and I think is nice. I think she's my queen. Was it this corner? There's nothing there. Nothing there. Birdo overcame all that and races and plays sports with everyone now, so it's mean of them to portray her like that. That's what I'm saying! Oh, hi. You lost Elle? A scary Pokemon? Where is the Pokemon? What is it? What's happening? We should learn Tri-Attack. That'd be pretty cool. Can we catch this thing? Can we get rid of this predator? Can you go? well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Matthew, this is official. You can play, Leaf Green and Fire Red on the Switch now. I Papa Berry. Talk about yourself in the third person a lot. Okay, brought you home. Show me you being cool again. Show me you being cool again. What? Yeah, I have a rock for you. Did I not say who? Did I not say who this is? Okay. Want you to have this, a moonstone. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna go now. This is the Sevi Islands. This is the Sevi Islands. So it is a separate side plot sort of situation going on. I thought it was post-game. I was wrong about that. We're gonna save right now. Save immediately. How can I get back here from Vermilion? Right now I just want to leave though. I just want to go. We're getting out of here. Okay, how do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? Y'all know? You guys know where I leave? I know I'm not trying to go to the rest of the Sevi Islands, I'm trying to go home. Back to Kanto. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm done with this for right now. Bill! Bill, let me leave! Oh, I should heal while I'm here. I should heal while I'm here, hang on. But I don't understand. I don't know how to get back to my gym challenge. I'm trying to go fight Giovanni right now. I know I was doing fly, but I didn't know how to switch to a different map. I was literally trying to fly. What kept you so long? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, cool. You haven't finished with the job. We should head back to— Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, I don't think I could fly without this. I don't think it was letting me out. How do I do Sevi Islands? After you fight Blaine, Bill will be out here and he'll want to talk to you. Where did you go? There's literally nowhere for you to walk. At least the boat is fast. So speedy quick. So speedy quick. All right. Sir, can I have my fossil back? Can I have an aerodactyl? Listen, I got a little caught up. Okay? It's not my problem. Should I go check and— I imagine they're not, but like, I guess I should go look and see if they're shiny. Oh, yeah, repel's effects were off as they must. I should go check because that's what people are resetting for. And imagine if I just had a shiny in here that I was just like, man. Let's see, what do we got? You normal? You normal. You normal? Yeah, oh, it's a female! It's a female Kabuto though. That's pretty cool. That's pretty freaking sick, bro. I'm gonna surf up so that I can fight the last trainers that are up here. And then I think we're gonna just fly to Viridian so that I can fight Giovanni. I think that's the goal here, but I just want to fight these last trainers first. In a triathlon meet. Very cool. Good for you. Where does it end? Does it end in Pallet Town or did it start in Pallet Town? I don't know where the biking portion would take place, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Aerodactyl's good to use in playthrough. Cool. I'm not going to, though. Yeah, let's swap. Let's put Victory Bell in the front. We'll swap it to the front, actually, after this battle is done. Wart. We're gonna need to get you some better moves. We're gonna need to get you some better moves. Okay, let's go Victory Bell learn set. I think we need to get you specifically some TMs because I don't think you're gonna learn. Yeah, you're not gonna learn anything else. But what moves would even be good for you? Is there anything that would actually be like helpful here? Maybe we get you a Sludge Bomb? That'd be kind of cool, but there's no better grass type moves other than Vine Whip, which is kind of sad. And we don't want a Flatter. Ah! I have Giga Drain. I don't have Solar Beam. I don't know if I want Solar Beam. It's kind of lame. Personally, I think. Because it takes so long to charge up that it's like not even worth it because it's kind of a glass cannon. I don't even know if it's a glass cannon. I don't know if it's a cannon at all, but it is glass because Victory Bell gets eaten alive every single time it gets hit. Toxic is good. Oh, that could be good. Oh, I forgot to swap. Oh well. Oh well. We'll just hit it again. It's fine. And then we'll swap after. Switch. Might have picked up Solar Beam in Cinnabar Mansion, but I don't like Solar Beam. I just said that. I just said I don't like it that much. And I like it having Sleep Powder because it's been helping me catch Pokemon a lot. So I think I'm just like this. I think I'm just doomed to suffer when it comes to Victory Bell, if I'm gonna keep Victory Bell on the team. I don't think this is an overly competitive force to have on my team. It's just sort of a support individual. Let's go Vine Whip. Nice. Very cool. Love to see it. Executor does everything but better. But the point is that I'm trying to bond with Victory Bell. That's the point. That's the reason for the season. Hello. Caught my Pokemon at sea. Good for you. Good for you. How many of these guys are— ooh, Starmie. That's a fun pull. That's a cool one to have. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Goodbye. Good night. Sleep tight. Ooh. Ooh, that did pretty good. Because I'm just worried that, like, Victory Bell's not even gonna be super helpful in the fight against Giovanni, because ground type is good against poison, so I feel like it's not gonna resist its attacks. Nolan? Invincible? Omni-Man? Let's get a Giga Drain in here. Gonna do egg moves after the Elite Four? I don't know what that means. Do you mean, am I gonna like hatch Pokemon specifically to have certain moves? Cause no, probably not. Probably not. I'm probably just gonna stick with the same team. It doesn't really matter. I sort of have a point that I've been making with this team, that you can have an incredibly sub-optimized team and still play through the game perfectly fine. And so I'm happy with my sub-optimized team, although I'm just a little annoyed about how Victory Bell's usefulness has been throughout this one. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Hello. Don't scare away the fish. I'm literally swimming around so that I don't scare away the fish. Chill out. Now I'm gonna go scare away his fish on purpose. I can handle it. That'll be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Get this thing out of my sight. 6-7. So frustrated from not catching it. Oh, okay, well now I feel a little bad. I feel a little bad. Now I won't scare your fish away. I won't on purpose scare your fish away. That was mean. That was a mean thought. That was a hurt people kind of situation. And I shouldn't have gone down to it. How many shinies do I have in this game? None. I haven't been shiny hunting at all. That's not the goal with this game. I am so happy that I made that emote. That it's just been so useful. Tentacruel. We'll stick with it. We'll be okay. I don't have any Vine Whips left because Vine Whip only has 50. For such a low damaging attack to only have 10 power points is crazy. It is not the number that you would expect out of something like that. I'm constricted and I'm wrapped. We're having such a good time right now. But I'm slicing the way out. Hi, Goblin! Thank you for clocking in for your shift. Oh, is that what I was doing that made you think of Blue's Clues? That's what it was. That's what it was. I was trying to think of the normal battle music and I was like, I can't think of anything that would have done that in here. That makes so much sense now. Okay. We're just gonna use cut, I guess. For a normal type HM, not the worst move to have sometimes. Okay, Nidorina's level 44. Look at us go. Oh, darn. Okay. We're just gonna shockwave and it's gonna be perfectly fine. Easy. Easy. Okay. What's the team looking like? Yeah, we'll switch you out here now. Yeah, that'll be good. So many fishermen! So many people fishing. We're gonna shockwave. I'm getting tired. I didn't know there were this many guys here. I thought there was gonna be like 7. And I feel like we have fought more than 7 already. It's good to get the experience points, but my goodness, you know, at a certain point, it just becomes a little frustrating. Especially when they're coming in at level 28. Like that's not very much of a level. That's not very much of a level for the stage that we are at level 43 right now. With most of our Pokemon being level 43. And it's seeming like shockwaves are maybe doing a little more damage than they even need to. Because these little Seekings are not that strong. It feels a little overkill at a certain point. Okay. This fisherman hopefully has one very strong Pokemon instead of like a million small ones. Right? Jolteon doesn't know their own strength. No, it's taking them out. Taking them out so quickly. Remember how it was like one strong Pokemon instead of a bunch of tiny ones? 6 of them! 6 of them! 56 Pokemon, probably all gonna be this level or something, or close to it. Maybe 57 health or experience. This is a bummer. This is truly a bummer. How does this even happen to you? How does this even happen to you that you have all these Magikarps? How does this even occur? Ooh, Fisherman Wade, what's going on? What is occurring right now? Do you have anything else? Also, do all these Magikarps, do any of them have attacks? I'm not letting them get a moment in to see if they have attacks, but like, how did you get all your Magikarp to level 27 if none of them can even attack? Is what I would like to know. What I don't understand about this. Do you have another? No, they're all Magikarp. Hopefully at least they know tackle or something, but I don't understand how you got to this point. Okay, well. That was exactly the opposite of what I was hoping was going to happen. Alright, Ooh. Ooh. Tentacool, get me out of here! Get me out of here, bro! No! None of this! What's in the grass? What do we have down here? Is there anything cool down here? Oh, a Tangela! I guess we didn't have to trade for that other Tangela, but I don't need that. Do we have another Tangela? Yeah, it's another Tangela. Is that all that can be found here? Is there anything else that I should be looking for? That I should be enjoying? If this is Tangela again, we're leaving. We're going away. It's Tangela again, we're going. It's Tangela Central. They're all tangled up. They want to tangle. Get it? Like to fight? Alright, now we're home. Let's go heal with Mom because I feel bad. Not me just clicking down on the joystick controller to try to sprint. That was silly. Hello, Mom. Please heal me. I made a gingham pattern like the pattern on the table for Animal Crossing. Fun fact. Fun fact. Okay, let's go. Let's save because we got through that. 24:30. Alright, let's go fight Giovanni, gang. Let's get going. Let's go see what it's like. I don't want to go through the Viridian Forest though. I think that's quite annoying, so we're not going to do that. Well, we wouldn't have to. That's afterwards. But you know. You know what I mean. Okay, Pokemon that are gonna fight. That are gonna fight in Giovanni's gym. We're gonna put Victory Bell in the beginning and we're gonna see what happens. We have to go this way. We simply must go this way. Not that way. I always end up like running over that little ledge, so I'm proud of myself for not doing that this time. This way. This way. Who could have possibly foreseen that this guy would be a little evil? Given the fact that that he has the same puzzles in here as the scary mean organization who took over Saffron City. This is a fighting type Pokemon. This is a fighting type Pokemon you've placed before me. So what's that about? What's that about is what I would like to know. Go to sleep. Take a nap. And it can't even do that to me. It can't even do that to me. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Put Fearow in. Why would you show me a fighting type? Why would you show me this man? Why would you do that? Okay, let's go Aerial Ace. Should we lead out with Fearow in case they throw fighting types at us? Why would they do that? Now to leave the game alone to go back to Pokopia or Skyrim. Oh, you play Skyrim? Giovanni learned about one puzzle and uses the same puzzle in everything he does. Do you think that's what his house looks like too? Do you think that's what he does? Christian, how's your Pokopia island looking like? I'm building an in and out on my Pokopia Cloud Island with my friends because I saw somebody do it. I saw somebody give a tour of theirs and I said I want to do it. It's a barren wasteland. Is it full of Pokemon at least? Apparently I play wrong. How do you play? What are you doing if the environment is not like recovering? Mine, I haven't done a whole lot of like very sophisticated looking like builds or anything in my main island. Truly what it is I just want to like build stuff randomly. I don't want to like really play the game. I just want to like go wander away and like build something. This path you specifically dig through, I dug around and said, that's so funny. What the heck? What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, here we go. Let's Giga Drain here. Take some of that health back. Is that gonna re-up us completely? Yes, it is. Exactly as I hoped for. What are you gonna send in? Graveler? Okay. I'll stick with it. You have a lot of Pokemon, dude! There's so many Pokemon! Okay. Okay. Innate Arena's level 45. Pretty good. Now you've got an Onyx. Have you, like, really tried to, like, rehydrate the Earth at all, really, in your game? All I'm hearing is Finn is an island she never invited us to. I showed you guys my Cloud Island repeatedly, actually. I showed it on stream last time, in fact. Wait till it rains. I kind of do that too, to be honest. I kind of just let it rain. Okay. Okay. Victory Bell's doing something. Marowak. Teacher's telling you to color inside the lines. I'm teaching conformity and obedience. You're becoming ungovernable, and that's the only right way to play. Perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. Ooh. My defense. I'm just gonna use cut. I think that will be enough. Oh my gosh, are you sure? It's cool. It's cool. Tried to make a pyramid, but forgot pyramids are shaped, so I made an hourglass instead. So good, though. That's so good, though. I had a dream that I, like, went to my Pokopia, my little cloud island, and somebody had, like, dismantled the house that I made, and I got so sad. I was so bummed out. Okay. Oh, you're probably gonna have fighting type Pokemon too, and I'm gonna be annoyed with you. I'm gonna be irritated. Yeah, you got my chop and stuff. Like, what's that all about? A level 40 Machop? That's not what I want to see. Put Kadabra in. Haven't put Kadabra in since the Fuchsia City Gym, so that hasn't been much all stream. Oh! Cool. Cool, 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 cool. The Pirate Cove house. I know, I was so sad! I was so bummed out. I was like, oh man, somebody took my house apart. Alright, and we're gonna use another Psychic. Cool. Good for me. We are uniquely arranged to very specifically take out this gym, I feel like. I feel like most every Pokemon we have is, like, good for this specifically. Oh, who are you? Tamer Jason and your level 43 Rhyhorn. Wow. Let's Vine Whip, I suppose. Solid! Amazing! Show-stopping! It works! Okie dokie, okay. Yeah, this is the right way to go, I'm pretty sure. We fought that guy early. And now we're gonna walk up there and he's not gonna want to fight us again. There's so many Pokemon in here. I'm gonna use up all of my power points on all of the from Victory Bell before we even get there. Okay, and we're gonna use Vine Whip again because I know Cut does not do enough to get you there. Before he ever fights, he says no one's tamer than Jason. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Alright, another Vine Whip. We only have 2. Bone Meringue. So that's cool. We're gonna use Giga Drain about that. And take what's left of your health, and hopefully take what's left of the health of the Pokemon after you. But that's Jason for you. I guess so. I guess you're right. That's a typical Jason behavior. Giga Drain. Nice. Okay. Solid. Solid, 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 solid. About to use Nidorina. I don't know how we're gonna do on this. I don't know how we're gonna do with this. Bite. Vine Whip doesn't do a whole lot, right? Because it's poison type? No, it's not. Yeah, I was right about that. Ah! Well, now we don't have any Vine Whips, so that's cool. Are you gonna use an item? Don't use an item. It's just in Nidorina. Dang it, you used an item. Please! 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 I think three of these will get rid of it, though. We'll be okay. Please! Nice. Okay, if the next thing is something I can Giga Drain, that's not gonna work for me. We're gonna swap Kadabra? Just let Kadabra have a minute here. Because I think you should be okay. If you just hit it with a Psychic, it should be fine. Pretty sure. Yep, absolutely. Stormcloak or Imperials? Which do I choose? Oh! I don't remember what that means, but I'm gonna go Stormcloaks because Imperial sounds like the bad guys. Okay, okay. Oh! Did I like skip a whole section? Was I supposed to go over here? Am I supposed to go this way? In order to get the max experience, I'm gonna go this way. Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. Wait, hang on. I want to fight all the people. I want to fight everybody. I want to make sure I get all that experience before I move on. Arbok, that's a terrible Pokemon for me to be facing right now with Victory Bell. Horrible. Okay, hang on. Let's go. Kadabra could take a hit, right? Probably. We're gonna assume so. Defense fell. Okay. Can I recover? Really quick? Can I replenish my health? Maybe we'll do it again if it hits me again? Glare. No. Well, we don't need to do it again. Are they the bad guys? Oh. They're all bad guys. Oh, good. Okay. Imperials just sounds kind of like Star Wars bad guy, you know? After the start of the game, I ignore them all because I don't want to associate with any of them. Well, if there's no good answer... If there's no good answer... Tauros will swap here. Nidorina needs to not have that anymore. Hang on. Let's go Bureau for right now. Okie dokie. Fly. That's fun. Get out of the way. I'm missing your scary face. Oh no, now I'm gonna be confused. Now I'm gonna be confused. Drill peck? Is that gonna work? Try not to in the Civil War as much as possible, but their quests are so fun. What? Is that- are you like starting? Am I confused? Is this like the beginning of Skyrim? I've seen the beginning of Skyrim a fair amount of times. So I've watched people play it. Hello. Oh, I should have moved some stuff around. 10th playthrough? What did you make your character like? What did you make your character be like? This is gonna go poorly. I'm gonna Giga Drain first to maybe get some health here. Yeah, okay. And then we can swap Sucker for Skyrim and BGE. I made a magic elf. Do you make different characters every single time? Or do you make like the same vibe? You know what I mean? I tend to make barbarians in most games that I play, but I also don't like replay. I've never played Baldur's Gate, and I started Skyrim and I couldn't get into it too much. So I didn't play it much more than that. Okay. Amazing. Alright, so now we have to move some things around in our party so that we can fight this last guy in the gym so that we can get that experience point, but our Nidorina right now needs to not have this item anymore. I think I'm gonna give it to Jolteon. There's no way Jolteon gets put in here. You know? You know what I'm saying? Okay, and then we're gonna swap Stoys to the front to start warming up before the big fight with Giovanni. We want to fight this guy first. There we go, and then we will have that's all of the people. That's all of the people in this gym. Think I would like Baldur's Gate. It's fun. What does the like actual gameplay look like? Because I feel like I see a lot of people like doing the roleplay options and everything, but I feel like I very rarely see people like actually doing any fighting or anything like that, and I assume that that's kind of a big part of a game like that. You know? Like, I don't know, I figure anyway. Another Sand Slash. Yet another Sand Slash for me to hit with a water pulse. Swords Bard vibes. Make lore bards. Spore Druid. Spore Druid? What's a Spore Druid? I don't know what these things mean. Because it's just different enough from D&D that I don't know exactly what we're talking about. And I don't know as much about D&D as I should as a person who has played D&D for the amount of time that I have. Should play at least Act 1 of... I don't wanna... that's a lot... It's money to spend. It's money to spend on game. It's money to spend on game. That's the reason I haven't before. They're druids that use fungal... like mushrooms? Do they look like mushrooms themselves? Do they have little mushroom attire? Do they look like a toad? Make zombie mushroom friends. Oh, so more of a parasect moment. D&D session in San Francisco. Let's do it. Let's do it. Now, can I Can I just get rid of this Nidorino, please? Am I allowed? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate ya. Nidoking. Gasp. Whatever shall I do? Surf. Surf is what I shall do. Dang. Dang. Didn't even have a chance. Didn't even have a chance. Yeah, you got crushed, buddy. You got crushed, buddy. Alright, back this way. We have to go through here. Already fought all of them. Alright, let's save here real quick to make sure that if something goes sideways, we have a place to go back to. Here we go. You found me again, so be it. This time I'm not holding back. You were holding back before? Yikes, no you weren't. You were trying as hard as you could. I can tell by the way that you are. Rhyhorn. Snore. Boring. I feel like this is the kind of thing that doesn't happen in Pokemon games in modern day. There's times when I feel like, because I was raised on games like this, where it feels like you one-shot things all the time. And in modern games, I feel like the opponents always do so much more damage than I do, and I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Hidden item on the gym stand after you beat Giovanni. Cool. Forgot his World of Pain catchphrase. This will not go well for him. No, it's his turn. It's his turn to live in a world of pain or something. But I feel like, especially if we are the same level, I don't one-shot people like this anymore. Like, look how nice that was. Look how easy that was. Like in some, I don't know, it's one of those things where people say it's like, oh, the modern games are so much easier. I think sometimes it feels like the old games are easier, but I don't really know what the difference is. I don't know why it is that in some games I don't know why it is that in games like this, yeah, like sure, training is harder, like getting up to level takes a lot of work, but like sometimes I'll be fighting something that's like a lower level than me by a sizable amount and I won't one-shot it the way that I expect to. And so I don't understand what is different. That's a level 50 Rhyhorn. Pretty cool. Pretty nice. One-shotted it with my level 45 Blastoise. See, that doesn't happen in the modern games, I feel like. Randomly assign everyone Discord classes because I think they would play in Baldur's Gate. If you pick anything other than Barbarian for me, I assume that is the class name, then you are incorrect, because that's the character, that's the one that I play all the time. Modern games seem harder. I think that they seem easier in different ways, but they are so much harder when it comes to like, I feel like it doesn't do the damage that I expect. Like Pokemon just don't do as much damage as I think anymore. Okay, so we're putting Earthquake on Nidorina yesterday. Yes. Yes. Not able? Is it able if I evolve? Is able if I evolve? If it was a Nidoqueen, could it learn the move? Aren't any floor or rock puzzles in the modern games. Is this what you were saying? Has the item? Is it outside? On the gym stand after you beat Giovanni? What's the gym stand? What are you talking about? What did that say? Oh, chat and Fid. I was just like, oh. Scarlet and Violet took me a while to beat it. I didn't have like a problem beating Scarlet and Violet. It just took a long time. Where Giovanni is standing? Does he go away after I like leave the gym? Is that what you're talking about? If I like leave, is he gone? And then I go back in? This way and this way. Are you still there, sir? Yeah, he's still standing right there. I don't know. I don't really care that bad. I don't care that bad. Did I ever do the Scarlet and Violet DLC? Yeah, I did those on stream. Finished the whole thing. Talk to him and then stand where he was and use the item finder. How can I stand where he was? He's still there. I don't understand. Anyway, it doesn't matter that much. We did it. We got the Earth badge really easily, actually. Really easily, actually. And there we go. And on the next stream, I think we will take on Victory Road and check that out. It took a little while. Blueberry Academy stuff is the difficulty I enjoy. The only thing that I didn't like about that is that I had to like get a whole new team within the area. That was frustrating. Alright. He disappears if you talk to him again? Ah, it's okay. Not right now. Alright, gang. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I think we're gonna call it a stream today. So TikTok, you guys are the first to go, as always. But we'll be back again on Thursday to take on Victory Road, and I hope to see you there. Bye! Alright. Alright, the rest of ya. The rest of ya. You guys know I love you on the TikTok chat, or on the Twitch chat, but we gotta humor the TikTok chat as well. I like them over there. If the ones that I liked from the TikTok chat would just move over to Twitch, it would all be perfect. It would all be great. It'd be such a good time. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Alright, let's go find somebody to raid today. Let's go find somebody doing something cool and awesome. Who's live right now? Oh, Pretty Pink Pommy playing Pokopia. Got Lamb Sauce. Ooh, Shiny Only Nuzlocke. That's kind of crazy. Anybody else playing something kind of similar? Oh, there's Nimbly playing Emerald. First playthrough of Emerald. There's Fawn doing Tomodachi Life. Let's go see Nimbly. Let's go see Nimbly. Let's go right over there. Thank you guys all so much for joining me. Yeah, I'll see you guys again on Thursday. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how I don't know, chat in the Discord, whatever. It's, you know, it's relaxed, it's chill. It's whatever, but I appreciate you guys being here. Y'all are my favorite, you know that. But I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!